What do you mean by that?
Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome. I am pumped to get it going tonight on this wonderful Tuesday night on this March 9th. You know what it is, 2021. Hopefully better than 2021. Get to that. What's up? It's the Henny Cool Brothers once again. It's one half right here, your boy Prototype Virgo, ready to get it going. Here's my other half. Talk to him, JD.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, it's the Don, it's the Godfather, future Hall of Famer, JD Legend here. Excited to finally have two people that have not been here yet, which is shocking. Very shocking to have you two not here, but it's finally here. It's finally time. So I'm going to hand it off to you, Virgo. Go ahead, bro. Do the intro.
What's good, man? We talked about the man, Notorious LAZ. What's good, Laz? Welcome to the channel for the Henny Cool Brothers. Y'all know Laz, of course, but it's first time on the Henny Cool Brothers. Talk to your man, Laz. Talk to him.
What's going on, guys? My name is Commodore Laz. I do coverage of One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, formerly did with Haikyuu, and yeah, I'm here for a good time. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Absolutely. And then we swing it over to our big homie, KingRecon. What's up, hype beast, my man? What's going on with your player?
Yo, first and foremost, thanks for the invite, but we all know why I haven't been here until now, man. It's because Jay's still salty. I hit him with that red shell a time ago, dude. You already know.
We can run it right now. We can run it all right. We can end the stream and just pull up.
We really could, honestly.
Just say less. Be on.
Oh, man.
But we definitely have
absolutely. And then we have our, of course. And then we got our boy Stebo. You already know. What's good, Steves? What's good, Mr. Gameboy?
Hey, what's going on? Same nigga Stebo. I just be around, you know, going from place to place at this point. I don't really be doing my own thing no more. I used to. You can go check me out on my channel. You know, I got a whole stream.
I got your link in the description.
Seen before. But
is he talking like this?
I like it, bro. For him for so long.
I need Stebo to have a radio show immediately. Like that's not even a joke.
You
bro.
have the voice.
Like it's got to be late nights with Stebo, please.
Yeah.
Good morning.
At 1 a.m. with Stebo.
1 a.m.
1 a.m. with Stebo.
In an Uber car.
1 a.m. with Stebo.
We got some nice.
Stebo, you can low-key take over the ASMR game with relative ease.
You really could.
Yeah.
High key
on the mic.
Get it, bro. Stebo, OnlyFans, ASMR.
Bro, you could slay a lot of women. A lot.
You really super followers on Twitter, bro.
Yo, I wasn't even gonna wait. Jay, why did you immediately bring it to sex?
About the corner of the market.
Look, he's got a sex voice. Listen to that. Is it not?
I'm known for so long. I can definitely recommend.
I don't. Should I answer that? Yeah. Can I answer?
Yes. Are you?
Yeah, man.
We all confident with our sexuality.
Want me in the same room as him?
Absolutely. Listen,
sex voice.
We gotta do better, right?
We, as individuals and gentlemen, we gotta do better.
All right. So One Piece.
Right. So
American history.
The pinnacle of our English. But actually, I kind of want to make this a tradition, Jay. I talked to you about this earlier. Before we actually get to the meat and potatoes of the last chapter. I want to know a little bit more about the patrons that we have on the show. So, actually, Laz, I want to start off with you. Take me through your YouTube journey, your origins. Who were the Yonko to you? What's going on with your YouTube career? Tell me. What were your humble beginnings? I think Stebo might be a part of that.
Yeah, he was. But it's actually, there's even further back to that. So, like, it wasn't 2017 when I actually started. Originally was in 2015. For those in the chat, probably know Recon knows the name NZ Anime Manga. Yeah. So I used to follow like a lot of like sustained industry videos. So like people that talk about like their manga hauls, all that kind of stuff, and then that's how you kind of figure out like what people like the series and all that. And I wanted to do that for a while. So I remember I put up 3 videos back in 2015 before I had any idea what I was doing. And after those 3 videos, I was like, I wasn't happy with how like it was coming across. So I'm like, let me just take like a red shirt year, just kind of figure things out, you know, get the setup, the room, all this and everything. And then believe it was 2016 when I met up with Stebo and them afterwards for Outer Haven, for those who remember.
Outer Haven.
That's the origins right there. So we started with that. And then I remember you gotta do it after. But after that, it was just like smooth sailing because you know we got into the streaming. I felt my confidence was getting a lot better just being able to talk with people and stuff. And I said, you know what, man, let me just actually start my own channel because I wanted to talk about like Kingdom, One Piece, and all that. You know, seeing like the guys like I was watching back in the day, like, you know, King of Lightning, Sword 7 Mage, Recon in 2015 was pretty much a huge one for me too as well. And then I dabbled into Brago and then basically into the community from there. So then, yeah, 2017 jumped on, started covering Kingdom from like the very beginning. I think of the Western Style Invasion arc. Started covering One Piece. I think was when Punk pulled up. At the sort of the Poneglyphs with Big Mom and everything. So then it was just from there, man. Just great growth. And Haikyuu came into the mix, and a whole bunch of other stuff afterwards. Met a lot of people throughout the journey, and then here we are, bro. Like it's just been such a lot of fun. Like it's one of those things where I'm forever grateful for the chance of being a content creator, because it's not just the fact that you're making videos and just doing these kind of things, but the people you get to like meet up with. Because then we got to do things like go and travel to like different cities and countries. For me, going to the States for the first time in so long, to actually meet some of these people that I work with and actually just dap them up, go for food, talk about these series that we love. Like it's just, oh man, like, but that's just been the journey, man. See where we are right now, especially the growth that's been going on. Can't take nothing for granted. Like, it's been so much.
I 100% agree, and it's been awesome becoming your buddy too, Laz, and doing a lot of stuff with you, being in things with you, talking to you. Obviously, like you're not like you're new to hanging out with us, but like it's obviously the first time on the podcast, but it's like you're still one of the homies from a long time. Absolutely. You know the vibes. Absolutely, man. And that's actually also 2015. I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah. I kept that secret a long time because it's for a lot of people, they're like, oh, 2017, you talked about Kingdom. But no, literally like since 2015, like when I first did it, then I did the red shirt year. So I still, for me, I always say 2017 is when I truly started. But 2015 is when I really like started to dabble into the mix of like the whole YouTube game and all that. So yeah.
It's funny. It reminds me of about 3 years ago, one of the first streams on my channel that you pulled up to, and you talked about how you do a plethora of content. Mm-hmm. He's not joking. This man does a plethora of content. Yeah. This man does a whole bunch of shit, like a lot.
I've slowed down a little bit though, really. Like now, if you talk about last year, right?
If they go through your discography though, it's a lot.
It is, honestly. Like now it's like you're literally looking at One Piece and Kai's at the moment, whenever Haikyuu comes back with the anime. Kingdom, if my burnout doesn't die out. Even though I am caught up, it's one of those things too. You always have to be careful as a content creator. You never want to be burnt out on stuff you love, because then afterwards when you want to go and cover it, you're asking yourself, am I doing this because I want to put the videos out, or I generally want to see what's going on with something? And with Kingdom, I love it to bits. But when you're trying to factor in your own schedule, your work, all that, and like you have to ask yourself, man, like how much am I really going to throw in there and be like, okay, I'm gonna 1 hour before work, I'm gonna go and record this video and then try to be on time with everybody else that's putting up their videos. You have to ask yourself, man, are you doing this because you want the views or you generally love it? And I said I still love it, but it has to make sense for both ways. It can't be one-sided, because the minute you make it one-sided, you can get burned on the other end.
100% agree. 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, so we move on to Mr. Gameboy, Stebo. Stebo, take us through your YouTube journey. Stebo, I'm actually curious, when did you first join the community? Because I know you're an OG as well, Stebo. You've been here for a long time, but like, I don't think niggas really know the origin of Mr. Stebo.
Well, I'm curious myself. Checkered past, partially because my memory is terrible. And I don't remember the entirety of my past in YouTube, so it'll be hard to recount. But I'm almost certain that it began in 2013 when I discovered a guy by the name, and KingRecon knows because he used to be on his channel a lot. Firefist Dre.
Dre, the legend.
Yeah. No way.
And that was actually back when I first met Recon.
We're privy to each other. That's awesome.
And the reason I remember this is because, oddly enough, Rick and Morty had just came out around the same time. And I remember, like, I had watched, like, the first couple episodes, and then I got into One Piece at the same time. Like, and it was at the beginning of Dressrosa. And occasionally I'd be in Dre's streams, probably just be in the chat talking about, hyping up Dolphy or whatever, because he was my favorite character.
Good times.
And, and somewhere along the line, Dre kind of like retired suddenly.
Yeah.
And then I found Brago in 2016. And that was around the time when I met Laz, CGK, Dan, One Vision,
Dan.
And
you talking about Discord?
Everybody
Dan?
Else.
Yeah, Discord Dan.
Wow.
Yeah, all them niggas.
That was their group, Jay. They were known as Outer Haven.
All them niggas, Miraz, Heavens, Nikki.
Outer Haven, baby.
That's squad, bro. Like no matter what, bro, that's squad right there. Like
You got something to say, Jay?
Nah, it's funny because my first experience of BDA was with Dan and his wild assertions of Usopp and
They were
Judge.
part of Outer Haven.
I
which
just
was
could not
OP
believe what
RDP.
this nigga was
Had a
saying
lot of
about Judge.
discussion.
I just couldn't believe it. He said,
I love Dan.
he said if he rate Batman so high, why is Judge not top 5? I said, all right. I need a break.
Yeah, cut out.
That is Dan. That is Dan.
Hello.
Yeah, I carry Stebo.
Oh, okay. What part did I cut out at?
It was the part we're talking about with Dan, like the crazy stuff. Like he talked about like how he gassed up like Usopp, Judge. I know him and Chris. CGK, I should say. I gotta be careful with every. But the whole thing with the with Shanks and stuff, how high they were rate him and stuff. Like Dan be having some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
But I
still be
respect
on
him
that.
because he had ammo. And if you didn't have ammo to fight back, bro,
You
like,
would lose. You
wouldn't.
would lose to Dan. You wouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You would lose.
You got to be prepared.
Like,
He'd be on point. He'd be ready.
absolutely.
But we was doing like weekly discussions and live reactions to the chapter. Sometimes we do group live reactions, and we went from there. And we was trying to keep it consistent, but somewhere along the lines we kept hitting bumps in the road, and eventually everybody just split up. And but of course we stayed like appearing in Bravo streams or whatever, and from there it just grew bigger and bigger, and we started meeting up. Like, we went to New York and LA the next year. And
Crazy.
here we are pretty much. That's pretty much the whole of it.
It's crazy. Because I remember I joined the BA Discord, obviously a little while after you did, right?
Yeah.
And then I just remembered Grim was having his draft, his One Piece draft going on.
Yeah, the One Piece draft.
And one of the first things I heard you talk about, you had to argue why Capone would be the best Bay.
Yo.
And during the argument of Capone being the best Bay, you were like, well, Capone got that thing on him. He got chiffon, big ass. Big father, he got that thing on him.
Yo, Jay, why you making that face, man?
I don't like this conversation. I don't like it. I don't like this conversation.
I didn't like it back then. I don't like it now.
Not in 4K.
Stebo said,
4K,
listen,
bro.
they call him Big Father for a reason.
They call him Big Father for a reason. Absolutely. I feel like it was perfectly sound and logical. We
And I
won that
was
round,
like-
in fact. We won that round.
I'm like, I gotta befriend this nigga because this nigga's hilarious.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, man. And then Stebo, we've been guys ever since. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually,
I didn't even say nothing
Mr.
about my own channel.
Recon, Mr. Recon, I got you
Yeah.
next. But Jay, I'm curious. How did you go about meeting Laz and Stebo?
I'm actually curious about this.
I
want to know.
I met Laz and Stebo.
I'm asking you the same question too, Mr. Recon.
I met Laz and Stebo because of you. Because I joined a stream. I joined one of your streams, and I met Stebo there first. And I also met. Actually, I think I might have met Stebo at BDA. Now I think about it. That might have been BDA. I saw him on a couple of streams, and then I followed him on Twitter too. I think Stebo was one of my first Twitter friends, and so
That was your first mistake.
I mean, listen, I've been watching the streams, and I just heard lore about the wild Stebo Twitter account, so I just wanted to
Lore.
I just
Lore.
myself. Laz, I'm not sure when. I'm pretty sure I met him on a Virgo stream.
Well, for me, at least from what I can remember, is I remember when you were doing like the impersonations for like the Blackbeard voice and all that on Twitter. I was like, I love that. Immediately I followed them, and then as soon as I think when Brago had you on the stream, we talked from there, and it was just like smooth sailing. And then I found out you were a Liverpool fan, and then you found out I was a Man U fan, and then
That's when the beef started. That's when the beef started.
But then we're like brothers in our own right. So
Yeah.
I mean, but I think that's the other thing I can remember is like a Brago stream. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I only think I met Recon because of Mario Kart, and I just started talking shit to him immediately. I don't know why I did,
Yeah.
but
That's the only reason.
Hey, it was fun. That was a fun night.
It was a fun night.
All this
That
time
was a fun
about the
It
red
really
shell.
was.
Back and forth, the red shell.
Yeah, with the red shell, man. I'm telling you. My brother was taking dubs that night, man. I don't know what was going on with him, but he was going.
He just had it out for me from the moment I said something. Recon was like, "All right, I got you," and that's it. Like he just went Jordan on me, like Jordan versus Portland.
He had to do the shrug and everything. Bro.
He shrugged as he's passing away. I'm like, all right, bro. All right.
All right.
Yo, my brother said fear the Navente, bro. That's
Okay.
Yo, so KingRecon, once again, another pleasure to have you. Let's find out your anime backstory into the YouTube community. I've been watching you for a while. You are one of the most enthusiastic people I know, energetic people I know. You make a nigga love One Piece even when he thinks it's down.
Agreed.
So talk to me, bro. When did you start? How'd you keep moving along? Tell me about the progression.
Dude, so, man, when I was in high school, bro, I used to love watching King of Lightning and Sawyer. You know, those are my dudes. Zoro fanboy. It's kind of crazy that I get to, like, even now I look back, I'm like, man, I really used to watch these guys, and now I'm talking to them on streams. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so it was 2013, and I finally got my first smartphone, and I was like, yo, the day I graduate, I'm starting a YouTube channel, man. One Piece is too GOAT, bro. Like, I gotta, because at the time there was nobody that I had to talk to about One Piece with, so it was either I was going on a discussion board or I was going on Twitter or whatever, but I wasn't having that face-to-face interaction, or like I had to get off my chest, especially since at the time Dressrosa just started. Dofi opened the box, he revealed Ace's fruit. I was like, bro, I gotta talk about this, man. Somebody's gotta hear. So I was like, you know what, man?
I got some this man.
I was like, you know what, man? I'm starting a channel, and so it was chapter 710. I started the old channel with that, and then started doing reviews from there and doing my thing, you know, live reacting to that. Toriko, Hunter x Hunter, Bleach, that was my jam. And then towards the end of 2015, yes sir, 2015, I lost my old channel due to a copyright strike. I think it was like December 1st, whatever. And the day after, I was like, man, we're gonna start a new channel because I love doing this too much. Like even if you don't pay me, I'm gonna talk about the GOAT. I don't care, dog. Exactly. So like I came on here, I made this one with the underscore, and I said we're gonna keep moving. And ever since then, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. It's been way more fun than it ever was in the past, because in the past I was able to stream more because my internet wasn't as bad. But now, with as many people as there are in the community, like the fact that I'm doing this here with y'all, and the many awesome streams that have happened in the past couple of years, the amazing people that have come in the community in the past couple of years, and just the interactions, like the weekly One Piece experience is so special because of the people that are in it. Like as toxic as it may be at times, that's still a part of the fun of it.
Oh yeah.
And I love it so much. And it's addicting. Like it's one of those things where if one day we're gonna look back when we're like in our 60s, we're like, man, that pirate manga on a weekly basis was fire, bro. It was fire. You know, being able to meet all of these wonderful individuals. Like I don't care how One Piece ends at this point. Like it could end however it is it's gonna end. It's not gonna take it away from the fact that I met so many amazing people because of that, and all the memories that happened because of it, bro. Like Brago put out that video the other day talking about you had to be there for like certain moments, and it really took me back. I was like, man, we've been doing this for a minute, bro. It's been a good while. And so yeah, man, it's been a fun journey. We're keeping it moving, and as long as we get to talk about the greatness unfiltered and have the freedom of speech, we're gonna keep doing it, man. So it's a lot of fun.
%, man. I mean, even when I found myself waning, and as Laz was talking about earlier, getting burnt out, I always know that the people keep me coming back. And then like even Mr. Negativity himself, Driss is like, listen, I might stop fucking reviewing One Piece on my channel, but I will not stop jumping in streams and talking to you boys because I fuck with y'all. Right. And that's like that's the awesome part of it, is that the fact that you can build these relationships with people that don't even live in the same state as you, same state, same city, same province, same country. Like that doesn't matter. But you can share a mutual love of this pirate manga and just enjoy talking about it with the plethora of different people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Then that's just freaking awesome.
It doesn't matter what it is. Like I remember like way back, for those who remember like guys like Malozo and stuff, like we had like a stream, I think it was with Brago, One Vision and stuff, and it's like I'm in Canada, one guy's in America, one guy's in Japan, one guy's in England, and one guy's in Germany. Like it's insane. I'm literally talking to somebody from across the whole world. Like it's just I never imagined like anything like that would ever happen. So like it's just one of those things you got to be so like thankful for, like just to have that opportunity to just talk about anything with anyone from whatever place in the world. Like
It's a beautiful thing.
man,
Yeah,
it
it truly is.
It really is. Like, no corny shit. Like, it's actually, like, dumb fire.
You know,
Like, I remember... Go ahead, Jeff.
nah, I just, you know, the funny thing about what Recon said is like, this is like, it ties in hand when I said like, what is the best thing about the One Piece community, or what is something you appreciate about One Piece? And I tell people that there is no other anime community, I think, that's as together and as entertaining as this community. No matter whether you don't like the toxicity or not, there is always something for you to read or debate or argue about every time a chapter drops, no matter what happens. Even if the chapter is boring, somebody's going to find a way to make it controversial. There's going to be videos made, and there's going to be arguments, and there'll be power scaling, and there'll be memes. And it's just like every time, every week, something's funny. Something is toxic. And it's just like, it's pure entertainment.
Crazy.
And then you don't notice how much you miss it until there's a break. And it's like a wasteland. It's desolate. Like, where's One Piece, bro? Like, what's happening here? Nobody's talking One Piece, you know?
Yeah, and it's not like to put down like any other series too, because it's like, you know, some series have their times where it's like, okay, it's really talkable, right? But it's like One Piece, it can be talked about any time of the week. A break week, you can talk about it. That's just like the beauty of the story, and it doesn't have to be the stuff that's to come. It could be stuff from the past. You know, there's like previous arcs. Like you're thinking, you're looking back and making, man, I was thinking about this, and it makes a lot more sense. Like, and you just have a whole conversation about it. It's just, I don't get that feeling sometimes with some other series, and not just to put them down, but just One Piece, I think, is just built different.
I think
Laz and I one night were talking about Dragon talking to M-sama for like 4 hours.
Yeah,
I kid y'all not, bro. It was like 4 hours of just great. It's just little stuff like that. You can talk about a panel for like 6 hours. It's nuts.
Exactly. Like you're thinking about theories and thoughts, ideas of like stuff that could like never happen, but because you're having that conversation, you just get excited about the manga, and then it's like when Oda does something that goes completely outside what you're thinking about, that's what gets me more excited, because for an author to be able to do stuff like that, not just feed into the fan base's state, but to have their own image, might tie into whatever it is you want, but it's still Oda's way of doing it, or whoever's way of doing it.
Yeah.
Greatness, man. Like, pinnacle of our
Then you've got content for 3 weeks straight. It's like the only series I know of that a chapter can drop, and during the talk of the chapter, that you can talk about some other shit that had nothing to do with the chapter for an hour and a half.
I think,
and it's just,
you know, it's
like
funny.
A little thing can happen in the chapter, and you can just make a whole video off one line. That's how powerful Oda is. Like, it could be one sentence, could be meaningless. It means something to somebody, and it's worth making that video for. Like, or just
bro, you are spitting lies, because bro, I can't even tell you. I've made like 10 videos about Mr. Prince coming back just on one panel. I love Sanji so much. I'm like, bro, I'm making a 20-minute video on Sanji, bro. I don't care. Like, it's one panel.
As usual. You know, it's funny. I'm remembering the last time I think One Piece had been so rabid with discussions, and there's been a lot. Like, there's the God Valley chapter and the Kaido Devil Fruit chapter, but I think the last chapter that like the One Piece community exploded, was that Straw Hat in the Reverie chapter, where we finally saw that Straw Hat frozen.
My God.
Everybody was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, what is that? Like, what is Oda doing?
It's like, you go back to that chapter, right? It's what Recon said earlier. It's like when you go back to, like, you know, you have to be there for those moments. Like, that is top 3. I don't care like anything. It's like one of those things where it's like you watch everyone's reaction, who they speak to, whatever. And the one thing they will tell you is that they have no idea how to react to it, because it's like one of those, like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, what's going on? Why is he holding papers? Who the hell is this, like, the stick figure dude? Like,
we spent years.
Oh my God.
Speculating the Reverie, talking about what it could possibly be, and this man throws that at us. Like, what?
Shanks was there too. I'm like, Shanks. I'm like, yo,
like, what is happening?
You got Instant Messenger Sama. It was nuts.
Instant
bro.
Messenger Sama.
I'll tell you this. When we went on the break,
Messenger Sama.
I'll tell you this. When we went on the break,
it's crazy. The series were insane. Oh my goodness, the Straw Hat was owned by a previous giant. Did Loki used to have the Straw Hat? Like, so much shit.
Yeah.
Like I remember like going back to that chapter, like I think it was 908 actually to say, because I remember with Recon we talked about like who exactly M is, and we would like I'll say this with Recon, he went all the way back to Alabasta, right, to see if we find images of Vivi's mom, because the whole thing was going with Vivi. I'm like, this is the power of Oda. I'm telling you, man, he'll find little things like this. It might make sense one day. You never know, but this is how scary it is.
We do not know
very
anything about
stuff,
Vivi's
man.
mom. I never thought about that.
We only got one page, a panel. I think.
So we got one panel. I think I know it's volume 24 or 23.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what chapter it is,
Ooh, I
but
got volume 23 right here.
it is you only see one panel of Vivi's mom, and I was like, yo, that might be a clue. I don't know,
I'm gonna have to go through this now,
dude.
Oh, wow.
But it's one of those things where it's like,
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Hold on.
that's why I think the Reverie to me is like the best experience so far weekly that I've had for One Piece. There's certain parts of the Wano I've enjoyed thoroughly and like from a personal level, but like Reverie,
The Reverie was legendary.
It was that was legendary, bro.
What
Like,
a stretch of chapters, bro.
like 908. Like when you see him like sitting on the on the empty throne after being told like no one's going to sell on this because of what it represents, and then 2 chapters later, this is my
The
throne.
Mihawk eyes, bro. Come on,
Yeah.
man. Yo,
bro. When I
crazy.
tell y'all, I was so shook at work because I the first thing I did when I woke up when 907 came out was read it, and so I reacted to it. I put out the video, and the whole day at work, I just could not think. I was like,
You
yo,
just
what is
can't.
going with Shanks, dog? What is going on with Shanks, bro?
the Shanks is a snitch agenda came. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah. Like sometimes, bro, I be getting in trouble at work because I'm supposed to be paying attention to something, and I'm like, bro, I'm just thinking about what's gonna happen next week. Like, how are they gonna be able to deal with all this? And I'm like, yo, like,
Bro, that was crazy, man.
it really
Oh, that was
I'll never forget when I know
Definitely peak content creation, I'll tell you that much.
Yo, also,
Yeah.
just another moment. I think this is the most memorable moment I've ever had in the One Piece community, and I wasn't even a part of it. The most memorable moment, when everyone found out that Sabo was alive. I think I was scouring YouTube just to see every single live reaction I could, because every one of them lost their fucking mind.
I was watching when she was started crashing.
Bro, they lost their mind, bro. Oh my god.
There's like forums. I would go to forums to see like all the parts, whatever, and then it like went straight to YouTube, and that's where I'm so happy with, man, because like going to YouTube, just seeing every video, Sabo's this, Sabo's that. Yeah. Oh my god, like you see like the Forever World, they tell like, oh my god, it's just like
everybody. All the titles are just in caps. There's no normal titles.
Dog.
The thing is, James,
bro, I miss
the back-to-back moments too, where it's like you get logging shot up, then you get Big Mom's crew,
Big Mom showing up on Dressrosa,
and then the fact that Sabo's top all of that.
Yeah,
it's like,
dog, dude, I remember that was where I initially came up with the idea for the afterthoughts. I was like, bro, this chapter was so amazing. Like after that video, I was like, nah, I gotta talk about it again, bro. This hits way too different.
Yeah.
Like, way too different, man. Yeah, no, that was one of the craziest moments. Like that in Gear 4th. When Gear 4th was revealed,
oh man,
and Oda went on break right after that, bro. I'm like, oh, he's a snake. I say he's a snake.
But it was just so cool to see all the discussions, like what exactly would be like the forms, like people would be drawing like the Super Saiyan, like whatever it be.
Super Saiyan,
yeah, dude. I saw so many Luffy forms that week. It was
y'all remember like when Roger saw Gear 4 Snake Man was? He said he's like he might have a tongue with like heat sensor. I was like, Roger. What are you talking about? You're gonna be gummo no tongue and shit? Like, what are you talking about?
Listen, man.
I remember 2 of the moments too that really stood out was 795. Well, 793 for a little thing, but 795 when we got the Kaido debut. Because I remember like at the time, this before being in the community, was, like when people were like, you know, like whenever the spoilers start trending, it's like something wild's happening, right? Yeah. And then it's like I remember like my brother like we used to read the spoilers back then and stuff. And he's like, yo, you better watch out for the chapter. I'm okay. And he's like telling me like, oh, someone from a third person's crew. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, no way Yonko shows up. Maybe a first hand and so whatever. And then when I read that chapter and I see this big behemoth just pop up right in front of Kid, Apu, and Hawks, and I'm like, oh my god, he looks like goddamn goat.
Bro,
like, dude,
I thought
he was Oda's like combination of The Rock and Brock Lesnar, bro. Like, I was looking at dude and I was like, I can't believe this guy exists in the One Piece manga, bro. And he's Kaido. It's crazy.
So hefty.
Genghis Khan, chiseled motherfucker. Who are you?
in my
like he was being hyped up for so long, and he looked like the imagery of a monster. Like, just you look at this thing, I'm dying. Just take me out. I'm not fighting you. Run, kill me. Like, wow,
it's nuts. It's like now you understand why everybody was so shook when they spoke of this man, bro. Like, man.
Yeah. And then I think another one was I think 818, 817. The whole Rizal was safe, because I remember that was like, whoa,
that was
now
like,
that is my favorite One Piece moment of all time, because seeing that display of loyalty literally like hit me with the feel. I said, these are the most loyal people I have ever seen in my life.
Absolutely.
They accepted death.
Lose a leg, they were getting speared to death.
Yeah.
Crucifix and chill, man. Like, you know?
Never sold them out. The way the Straw Hats were reacting was how I was reacting, and I know how you guys said that you guys were looking up like YouTubers and all that to like find out like who's reacting to this. The moment I saw Rise Up the Safe, I said, "How they acting? How they acting? How they behaving? I need to see somebody crying. What's going on?"
That's I think for Braga. I remember after I saw the Rizal chapter is when I saw Braga was doing like the live streams. That's when I started following him. So for whatever it was like December. Maybe it's December, January, whenever that chapter came out in like 2016. That's when I started following him after, and then like from there, the streams every other day or weekly. Man, that's a journey in itself. Like just
good times, man.
Now, actually, this is
dream life, right?
Virgo, I don't mean to interject, but this is a curious question I want to ask. Right?
Oh,
what is your favorite chapter? What was your favorite chapter to react to?
Ooh,
Jack, we're both.
Oh. Yo, I gotta think about this one. There's so many, bro. I gotta think about this one,
because I
don't even think I can answer that.
I can, right?
You know what?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
No, because it's the first reaction I ever got that ever hit 1K views. And it's still arguably my most famous one, just because a lot of people remember it. But the God Valley chapter, it is also my longest live reaction ever, because I literally spent a large majority of it comparing the Rocks Pirates to basketball players and the Golden State Warriors. Like,
that's awesome.
The entire time, I was like, "Yo, Whitebeard is KD, Big Mom is Rocks is Steph Curry, Klay Thompson is Big Mom." Sir. I was just going crazy, and then what it really helped me understand was that Garp, the agenda behind Garp is that he wasn't as strong as people think he was. So when I found out Garp was the hero, I was going insane. I said, "You niggas have been slandering Garp for too long. Now you got to deal with me." I said, "Everybody got to deal with me today."
Yes, sir.
Oh, I needed that, bro. And it's the panel. It's the panel of his shirt ripped, the blood, the fist. I said, "Okay,
yes, sir.
I can't do it anymore." And then and it was the bounties too. That was a bounty chapter too, wasn't it?
I wish we could have seen
it was just, I think Oda almost killed me with a heart attack. He almost killed me with that chapter because I couldn't breathe when we started getting the bounties. I just couldn't breathe.
Dog. I remember Blackbeard's bounty showed up, and then you followed up with Shanks. Shanks almost sent me to another planet. I was like, bro, like what? I never seen Shanks' bounty, bro. Like, this is nuts.
And it was like you was chilling, and you heard Whitebeard and Roger. I said, "Whitebeard and Roger, wait a minute!"
Like, come on.
Whitebeard and Roger. Oh, shit.
I said, Oda not even off screen and stuff now. He's just showing us everything. I'm like, everything. Settle down, please. This is not like you.
Yo, that was right after the Shichibukai craziness too, bro. Like, that was great. Man.
Oh, Jesus,
that was a good time.
Oh, but I'm trying to think for one. I mean, like one like super early on, I remember was the Katakuri debut, because I remember at the time I used to have like my tablet with me and stuff when I was reading off the chapters and everything. And I remember it was like 3 a.m. Chapter came out late. People were hyping this thing up. I'm like, okay, and I'm reading it, and I just seen this dude pull up, whatever, right? And all of a sudden, I'm like, what the hell? And then when you see like the 1 billion berry dude flicking the bean, like I'm like, bro, what the hell? And I'm like, he sees into the future. I was going nuts, man. So I'm like, yo, this is a first hand. This is how you hype up your right hand.
That Katakuri shit was wild.
Yeah, that was fire.
I remember for me, I know like for one in terms of sentimental value, because it's like as a content creator, like you have to be there. You're in the moment. You're making these videos. It's 1,000 because it's beautiful. Like when you see that moment, that's One Piece.
Yeah,
like, there are moments when you're reading. Of course, it's One Piece, but it's
One Piece.
Yeah, and when you're seeing like that moment where Luffy just like walks right by the Yonko and just goes see Kinemon, you have like those moments where it's like the earlier parts where like, you know, like, please, can you help like save this country? You know how Luffy, how he is, man. He's gonna do everything he can for his friends. And when he bro, this man went gear third and knocked Kaido to the floor and the
Red Rock, baby.
Third in the arc.
Red Rock.
That punch, I'm like, that's my Pirate King in the making,
right, baby.
dude.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever seen Luffy be that aggressive since he tagged Bellamy in Giant. Like I've not seen a more aggressive Luffy in my life, yo.
Bro, that had Celestial Dragon levels of energy.
Oh
Every
my
punch of
God.
Celestial Dragon.
Bro.
He smacked Kaido. Bro.
And then when Big Mom was like all worried, he's like, "Oh,
Kaido, like, why? She was like, Kaido, why are you on the floor? Get up!
Get up, bro.
Yeah.
Why are you still on the ground?
Get up! Hey, that remind me of Simba pushing Mufasa. Like, get up!
Get up. It's the TD Jakes meme. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up out of your seat!
And then it's like you see like that little panel where like the shadow Luffy playing the hat. Like I don't know how many avatars I've seen to this day where that has that panel Luffy just putting the hat on in the shadow. It's just like, and then again, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. I will surpass you and become king of the pirates. I'm like,
Legendary, bro.
Iconic.
I feel like an underrated moment reading weekly when like everybody putting out moments of hype, but it was a moment where they got everybody emotional. When we found out how Law survived from his flashback when Corazon saved them by
I was
keeping
crying in the club,
That
bro.
one
Oh my
actually hit
God.
kind of hard.
I was crying in the club, bro.
That was
Crying and walking away from the bombing, like.
I remember I was on the train going to work, reading the chapter at 7 a.m, and I was fucking crying my eyes out. And some lady's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "One Piece." I can't.
And I'm not mad at you for it because that's tough, Stebo.
So Corazon is
Right, that right there, like
as a One Piece character, top 10 Corazon.
That
like,
chapter hit, man.
That flashback alone, like to me, he's the best flashback.
one of the
character.
best.
And like when I see like the One Piece polls like worldwide and seeing like he's not far off from the top 10, like 12, 13. Some places he's like really, really high. I'm like, people know the greatness that is Corazon.
Eternal.
Yeah,
Dope.
That was one of the rare chapters where it felt like nobody had a negative thing to say about it.
that's true.
Yeah.
And you felt that too.
I
because
don't know how you can.
You felt the entire, to be honest, the entire Law flashback was just.
Yeah, because it's like you had this kid that would just wanted to die.
Brutal. It was brutal.
And then to meet that one person that changes, like when he says like when he got stabbed and he's like, "You might stab me, but I'm not the one who's feeling that pain." And I'm just like, bro, oh my God. And like again, the anime when it has its moments where it just ascends above the source material.
Yes, sir.
When you hear that voice, and Recon knows because Yoshida Shoyo, the voice,
The GOAT.
that is Corazon, bro.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, it's just it's a perfect match for everything. And man,
Bro.
Oh, that's where your name comes from? I thought that was like something Gintama related.
Yeah, it's a Gintama character. Like, I think they have the same voice. Shoyo and
and it's like I always say too, like whenever like certain lines stick into your mind, like when I hear like Corazon saying "Aisura Juda," saying like he's finally free, like oh my goodness gracious.
Bro, I have two, right? One of them for the old channel, one of them for this channel. On the old channel, I almost never stay up for chapters. But there was this one night where I was told specifically, like, "Yo, you need to stay out for this one, you specifically." And at the time, I made a theory like a year before the chapter came out about Sanji possibly being royalty, and so I was really on that because I wanted the whole Prince thing to be more than just a gimmick. Like I wanted, especially with the whole foreshadowing from Jaya and a couple other things, and I was like, man, I really want this to be something that's going to impact the story at one point in time. And so when chapter 801 dropped and the chapter ended with the wanted alive, it was one of the craziest weekly experience moments I've ever had because I was in a stream and we were 10 deep until like 6 a.m. I never do that, bro. And we were in there until like super, super, super late in the night, just talking endless amounts of theories about what was going to go on with Sanji, what was going to happen with Kaido because he just recently got introduced, what was going to happen with the Alliance because the chapter before that ended with something crazy was going to happen with the Alliance. And so all of this just culminated in this massive post-Dressrosa hype live stream. And I'll never forget that. It was one of my favorite moments of both reacting to a chapter and then discussing a chapter. And then on this channel, I think until we get to possibly the end of this arc, or maybe a little bit after that, like whenever Shanks fights Blackbeard or whatever. I think for me, the one that I had the most fun reacting to was whenever Roger found Laugh Tale. That was the crazy. Like, I never thought I'd see
Laugh.
that. I never thought
Laugh.
I would see that with my own two eyes. To see the
Laugh.
Pirate King finding the One Piece, and we see those panels with our own two eyes, bro. Like, dog, that was something special, man. They're about to cover that in the anime too.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
great. It's gonna be really surreal. Really,
so good. I can't wait.
It's such an emotional thing because it's like this is stuff we wanted to see for so long, and granted, like how quick it went by, but then like, just see how it was built up. Like with the narrator just saying, like, do you know what kind of look he had when he saw the greatest thing before his eyes? And he just laughed at the tear. Like I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine in my head what it's gonna be like because I might cry. Because it's just like I love the King of the Pirates, bro. When I saw like the recent episode of Roger and just how like beastly he just looked, I'm like, bro,
yes, bro,
that is the king. That's what I've been waiting to see for so long, man. Oh my god, Roger Coates.
Dog. Dude, this man Whitebeard pulled up like he was MJ in the slam dunk contest, where you saw him. He had leaped, bro. I'm talking dude jumped from one side.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting. I'm gonna do a double live reaction. I'm doing a double live reaction next week. Okay. So I've avoided every clip. I literally, my body is so ready for next week.
I think I'm ready this week. The anime.
Won't say a word.
Yeah, so
I won't say a word.
I'm telling you, I'm so excited because, bro, seeing Whitebeard versus Odin and seeing the agility of this man with that glaive, I said, am I seeing Hogan fight or is this Whitebeard? Yeah. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Bro, and then he was using his fist with his glaive.
I was like, yo, what is happening?
Yo.
Bro, and then him using
I would say,
bro, the left hook was so aggressive. I said, yo.
That was a Sendo smash, bro. That was a Sendo smash, dog.
It was just different. Hajime no Ippo, Dempsey roll energy. I said, wow.
I'm telling you. Dempsey, oh my lord.
That was hit it with the Dempsey roll. I would say, so one of my favorite reactions, which is going to be from a much different reason for all of you, because sometimes I'm an asshole. I would say definitely the chapter that Zoro got sonically cut by a poo.
Oh my god, the toxicity. Wow. You want to talk about toxic chapters. Wow.
I was a piece of shit.
Oh,
that entire chapter.
You guys know what and
I like Sanji and I like Zoro, but Zoro fans were really getting on my nerve that week. So that was very satisfying to see him get slashed. And I'm just like, fuck you guys, suck a dick, eating ass. I was just being a complete douchebag.
You guys know.
I just thought it was hilarious.
You guys know what that live reaction is, right? The legendary moment. To this day, I think it's the greatest moment on Virgo's channel yet. Is that laugh? Yo, when that laugh, I swear,
from that video,
my lungs were on fire when you started laughing, bro. I just could not breathe, bro, because it's like
I couldn't help it, bro. Everything, the buildup of the week, like the people that are pissing me off, and just seeing him in that very vulnerable state, just was peak hilarity to me.
Oh my god, bro. I think that might be the most hatred I've ever received in a comment section ever. To this day, I have never been so abused before in the comment section before. That was bad. That was so aggressive.
You can't talk about you can't talk about Zoro in that light, and then with Sanji, like, yeah, you'll have your thing, but it's like Zoro, bro, you can't.
No, well, I want to be honest. I was definitely being an asshole. Like, I'm not exalting myself at all.
I was being an asshole, but it was legitimately genuine laughter.
I think
genuine, I swear to God.
Wano, I'd probably be on their side, but after everything that's gone on in Wano, I get where you're coming from. So
hey man, listen,
it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. So. But but that stuff, like, man, I can never forget it. Just seeing like every panel, every time I go on the timeline, you see that one panel. Ugh, like, I'm just like,
I was like, ooh, I want to emphasize it too. I said, oh, that's aggressive. that's a heavy on screen.
The Glurg was one of the worst ones too, because I remember, like, they had a stomach ache? Like, I'm just like,
yeah, that was probably the most.
And even I defended it too, which is sad. But then, like, going to the anime and see, I'm like, you know what, man, I'm just tired.
Yeah,
I value my mental health way too much for this nonsense.
That was a pretty toxic debate. I'm not gonna lie. That was funny. You know, it's funny. But last thing, sorry. That just one of the live reactions. I'm just excited because I don't know, man. We're just talking about all the great modes of One Piece, and there's so many, right?
Please keep them coming, bro. I love going on conversation. Go ahead.
But I think we'll all agree on this. One of the greatest things I'll ever regret as a One Piece fan is not reacting to episode 956. It's a Chibukai chapter live. I regret that to this day because that to me is the best episode. Everything. Oh my god! From minute 1 to the very end, I was literally yelling. Oh my god, look at the animation. Oh my god, look at Blackbeard. Oh my god, look at Crocodile. I was like, yo, what is happening?
It was a movie, bro.
It was a
24-minute movie.
A movie on a TV time.
I was extremely engaged.
Like I don't know if we'll ever. I think we will see it again, something like that, because it's like I feel like people kind of forget too with the animators and the staff and stuff when they're that passionate about a project, especially for a moment like that. So we were looking forward to seeing. I know the one afterwards, everyone has mixed feelings and stuff, but for that moment in particular, when you see the start of that episode, it's like, are we watching the same thing like we normally watch? Like, no, this is it's a different One Piece right here, man. Like Big News Morgan,
so clean, yo, the hands, the hockey, bro. I was like, yo,
yeah, it's a Cypher Pole who, dude.
Bro,
he went
Muhammad Ali on that dude too.
Oh
like,
my goodness,
yo, Mickey Dempsey rolled him, bro.
Yeah,
like,
he did. No, but I just couldn't believe it because it's like I'm so excited, right? And then it's the sequence, right? It's the sequence where it starts with the Shichibukai, and then the music starts playing, and that is my favorite One Piece OST, like by a distance. And I'm just when Blackbeard cracks the screen,
yes, sir.
I'm just like, yo, they are doing way too much right now. Yes. And then Dofi comes up, I'm like, I'm already out of my seat. I'm out of my seat when Dofi comes up. I'm like, nah, they doing too much. They're doing way too much,
bro. Hancock has never looked that fire, bro. She was like, yo, bring him on. Like, bring him on.
I was like, bro.
Listen, man, that was the first time when I saw that with Boa. I'm like, I can't think with my head. I can't think with my head.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I can't
really can't think with my head, bro. The other one maybe, but no. Like just those too much.
Oh my goodness, man!
Dog, my boy Mihawk. Yo, when the shot on Mihawk started on his sword and then transitioned over to him, I mean, it just perfect storyboarding.
God, man, it's bro. The shadowing as well with Kobe talking to Drake. I said,
yes, sir.
I'm like, am I watching Stampede? Like, what is this?
Yeah. Stampede.
Bro, it's like you imagine like.
So shout out to Ichiro Oda in the chat. Welcome.
Oh, shout out to Oda.
Shout out to the greatest mangaka, man.
Shout out to Oda.
That's right.
Thanks for coming, my guy. I appreciate your series a lot.
I was gonna ask you this though.
So
what do you think? What moment we're gonna get? What do you think we're gonna get to, like possibly like animation on that level again? Like if there's an episode or a chapter you want to see for that.
I would have thought it was the very next episode.
Well, see, that's the thing. It depends if you wanted to see the extended content of like Garp and stuff, because I don't know if they were going to do that.
Of course.
Crazy. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they were going to do that because, again, because we know at One Piece, you start the episode at 8 minutes in, right? So it's like, you really couldn't.
It's got to be either the Laugh Tale episode or 1000 when it gets animated. I feel like 1000 is going to get beautiful treatment, bro.
I think that's going to trend worldwide.
Oh,
yeah.
Like,
I want the He Laughed episode.
I think Odin versus Kaido.
I really want that episode to just have its own OST.
See, well, I want Odin versus Kaido to do that, but it's like, I don't know. It's one of those where you can extend, but there's only so much you can extend and then keep moving.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I don't know. I could see maybe the actual cut itself when he gets a scar. That's gonna look clean, but it's like in terms of like a consistent like minute per minute.
I just don't think we're gonna get another episode like that. You're gonna stand it's like there was not 1 second of wasted animation. I don't think there's an episode that's going to be as stacked as that. The only other one that it could have been was God Valley. And there wasn't even that much movement or anything. So it's like, I see why they did it, you know? And if they're going to do a fight, they're only going to cover that fight and then save money for the rest, you know? So, I don't know. I think 956 is lonely at the top. I'm not going to lie.
The thing is, I feel like after you have a moment like that, I feel like at the same time, because this is the most passion I've seen Toei has been with One Piece. Like Wano, it's like, you know how we have our tier rankings? Like there's Wano, and then whatever the next arc is, there's a rank after that. Not to discredit,
huge distance.
Wano's just different. Like it's been like when you go back to like
Shima gonna be different.
in the anime, which was excruciating, even though I had great moments. But
Yeah.
Wano, it's like you are never.
Dog, it's been incredible. Like,
question.
you're absolutely right, bro. Like, and even I love the in canon filler. The in canon filler is my favorite part of the Wano anime, bro. It's so good.
So good.
Yep.
So good. The way that everything seamlessly
Yep.
transitions between each things, it's fantastic.
Exactly,
Bro, that Sanji versus Page 1 episode, bro,
Yes.
they gave me everything I wanted from that episode.
Dog, they had my
Listen,
playing for the shooting star. That was sick.
And Sanji did not have to do Drake like that.
He didn't.
He definitely
Yeah, that's
did.
facts.
He ex Drake dirty.
He folded him.
That's
He
right.
folded him. He really did.
Dirty in the anime.
Nah, that's
Like and Jay, you might hate to admit it. Zoro versus Kamazo was clean.
that's not a hate to admit it. Every time I think about it, they just went so hard with that onigiri. I was like, what?
I
Dog, that was around the time that like
Wait.
Ghost Tsushima hype was at its height. You remember that, Laz?
Yeah.
Whenever like Ghost Tsushima, the hype was real, and they released that episode. Like, ooh, it hit
like-
different.
It's just like I've never seen so many blocks in my life before, but like it didn't matter
All
because
those
it just went in.
cubes.
Yeah, like I thought it was in Lego world, to be honest,
Yeah.
but like it was not. I was in Zoro's world. Like
That junk was gold, dude.
Yo, the
That
cubes
was
hit, bro.
fire.
The cubes hit.
it did. Like, anytime I see it, I'm like, oh god, we're going.
The cubes hit.
Done.
Ever been a huge Roblox fan? Cubes hit.
Roblox.
I said okay. But real quick, I did want to get some of the donations before I forget about them. I'm gonna Recon. Are you the coach?
yeah, I
Are you
sure.
So, okay. I'm assuming because Sen said this. Sen Edo 99.
Oh, the
Sen.
Sen, shout out
He
to
said
Yeah.
our boy Sen. He said the coach is the ultimate counter to Dritz. This might be true.
Yeah,
Yes.
bro. We're
This
the,
might
we're,
be very
we're,
true.
we're the we're the same person, just looking at it from a different coin. That's the way I look at it, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your head
Sure.
tails. I get it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
love.
love my boy Drake.
We Rican said the internet is gonna break after the One Piece is found. You're not wrong.
That's gonna be a
100%,
scary time.
bro.
No matter, I
No
think
matter whether you think it's good or bad, you're gonna lose your shit.
You're just
Yeah,
gonna, you're gonna have to delete Twitter to not get spoiled.
Delete Twitter. Yeah,
Like,
Just
literally,
delete
like, unless you have text,
absolutely.
like you can't be on at all. Like deactivate everything. Like you gotta have a text. Like yo, when the chapter coming out? Okay, I got you. Bam, got you with the vid or the stream. Like
After the chapter before that, I mean, how are we even gonna know? I guess we're not gonna know when it's gonna appear.
well, actually, you do know because it's like whenever we get the messages from like the squad being like, okay, stay off social media. When I get like, listen, when you get a text
Okay.
message from a coworker telling
True.
you like,
Hey, last, but not everybody has that underground network.
no, I feel you. I feel well. I mean, well, now we do. We do. Last year, maybe. Actually, no, we did. We always did. Like now we're Virgo. It's crazy now, like how we have like literally have like people updating us like when it's coming out, like the
No,
everything. Like it's
Well,
wild how much it's grown.
last they be giving us that text like, "Hey, don't come to school."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Like, bro, it's crazy. Like, I go to work and my guy would be like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, man, listen, bro, don't go on social media." What? Like,
Yo, bro, you're not even lying though, bro. You're not even lying.
bro, if you're like in the party, like,
Don't even
hey,
get
man,
on.
something, hey, man, don't go on social media. I
Dog.
got you.
Dog, legit. I'll be in the Xbox
I'm
Live
good.
party. I'll be in the
Yeah.
Xbox Live party, bro, playing Call of Duty. I'll be going ham in Warzone because you know that's what I do. And they'll be like, "Yo, bro, spoilers are out." I'm like, "What? We're out. We're out of here."
No, I mean,
Yo,
like,
I'm
Get
not
outta
gonna lie.
here.
So, Laz, I hate to do this to you, Laz. I hate to do this to you, but you should probably check the blacks, and you'll understand why I hate to do this to you. Just check. Just take a look. Just take a look. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Yeah, no, Virgo picked up his phone. Wait. What do you mean by that? What do you?
oh my god!
Look at him. He's.
Oh my god! Anyway,
You know what? For today, it's 100.
It's 100, yo.
It's
Let me-
100.
Let me
It's
send this.
100.
Let me send this to
Let me drop a
Recon.
fire
Let me
emoji.
send this to Recon. Hold on.
That's a fire emoji.
oh my god!
Oh my god.
All right, while y'all do that,
You know what-
I'm gonna
you know
continue on with the
Without
donations.
saying names, I was gonna say without saying names though, that one of my goats is actually in there, so it has to be 100. There's no question.
Perfect.
Hold
So
on now, bro. Hold on now, G.
I
Hold on now, boy.
Recon's like, wait, hold on a minute, player. Yo.
Yo, it's a tag team.
If I
match.
gave it 100, he's giving it 200. I promise you right now.
It's a tag team match.
Hey, you said Townsy in the chat.
Townsy
Townsy
is foaming at the mouth, yo.
That's a real tag team match.
Oh my God. Yo, Sin, chill out.
Townsy said he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Literally in my head. Oh, help me, Lord.
Oh my God. All right, moving on to donation.
I appreciate that for real.
Of course.
Funky Zephyr, $5. Thank you. He said the Heat Laugh moment was top tier, a panel that we all wanted to see. I 100% agree.
Spit.
Yep.
We have $5 for Terrell Sandifer. Says, quick question: do y'all think the Grand Fleet taking over territory for the Straw Hats? They have to, kind of. Moving forward for in game anyway, they kind of have to.
I like to think so.
We actually saw through the cover panels that Bartolomeo just ran up and shanked shit and took over some territory.
Dude, I love how they show that in the anime. During the Reverie, they showed Bartolomeo going in and taking over some territory. That was really cool. Yeah,
I love how they included that. That's fucking hilarious. And when we have our final donation from Wheezy Bird, that's $2 and doesn't look like any text.
Hey, shout out to Wheezy Bird.
I do love Wheezy. Wheezy's great. All right, so you guys want to know something funny? Me and Jay actually had some questions prepared, and you guys have given us such good conversation that we haven't gotten to a single one.
Love it.
No, we got to the backstory stuff, but we got some more for you. Let's see, Jay, you want to open up with the next one?
Yeah. So let's talk Marco.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got here. Now, Marco was incredibly aggressive this chapter. I mean, the aggression was off the charts. And
yeah,
I think a lot of us knew or felt that Marco was the strongest first commander. But just from the display that we saw, what were you thinking seeing Marco do what he did? Did you expect him to do this? Did you see this coming?
This is where it's crazy, right? Because depending on the person, I always saw Marco as strong, but in terms of first commanders, in my head, just because of headcanon, what you think the story's going, Ben Beckman to me, I think would be the number one right hand. And when you see that display, I always figure, okay, the first hand commanders should be able to hold their own against their own ranked guys. So Marco Katakuri, Beckman versus whoever you believe for Blackbeard, if it's Shiryu and everything, but. When you see, because you have to remember too, Marco was there for a long time under Whitebeard. We saw him when he was a youngster and everything. So he's 45, and prime years is not in your 20s; it's in your 40s, 50s, according to Oda. So when I'm seeing the level of display that's being put, where he's not only putting King on a poster, he's putting Queen on a poster, but it's you get the hit in and you throw a knee strike, and then you keep on going. That's different because it's not to say oh, he's stronger than the Admirals. He was able to hold his own against an Admiral. We saw what happened after the fact. But this, I think, shows you his experience and what it means to be a right hand to a Yonko. So I think for when you look at other characters, for example, a Zoro and Killer, you maybe not to be exact to a T, because Marco's different. We got the fruits and all that, but that's something you would expect by the end of the story. You'd be able to do something like that. So Marco after the whole war and stuff, he was supposed to be touted among the other Yonkos and stuff who would take Whitebeard's spot. And whether you believe he's on the level or not, after a display like that, it's tough to kind of justify that thing. But at the same time, man, it was just such a raw moment.
Dude, this moment was foreshadowed years in the making, bro. The moment that the moment that they casted the same voice actor for Ichigo as Marco, I knew this was coming, bro. It's Now You Feel Like Number One season, dog.
Oh my god!
This man came in and hit a sweet chin music, a spear, a bomaye, all in one chapter on fellow Yonko vice commanders, bro. Listen, man.
Crazy.
Well, first and foremost, this puts a lot of hype on Blackbeard because Blackbeard and them took out Marco and them. Now I understand that it's a double fruit negation thing, and perhaps Marco without his fruit, it probably wouldn't be for other people because other individuals probably their hockey's on another level considering that he's so reliant on his double fruit and whatnot. But still. The fact that they were able to take out Marco and then puts a lot of hype on Blackbeard. But in terms of Marco, just in general, I'm on board with Laz and where I thought Ben Beckman was going to be the strongest. But right now, bro, I don't know, man. Dude, the Phoenix is... after I saw what I saw this last chapter, pulling out wrestling moves, toying with King and Queen, I was just, I was really floored, bro. Like, I always knew Marco was a beast. I just didn't know he was gonna be like this.
bro.
I was like, yo, this is
And
great.
it's like at the same time when you think about like what happened here, right? What does Ben Beckman have to do to top of that? Like actually go toe to toe with an Admiral and win, regardless if it's a high,
Actually
mid, low,
shoot
like whatever.
Kizaru.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be something that matches what we saw Marco do. To just say, okay, well,
That was
this guy's tougher than the other guy.
Probably just do something significant.
Because you remember what Ben Beckman said at the very beginning of One Piece when we saw like the whole thing going on. You're going to need a warship to come and test me. So if he means that, and that warship brings an admiral, and that's when it like really brings him out, it backs up that statement and confirms him as the top right hand of the current gen.
Yeah.
I still think it is him, but I think even more now, it's tough, bro. Because Katakuri, what he displayed back in Whole Cake Island was beautiful, but Katakuri doing this to the other two, like, you have to ask yourself those things.
I'm not sure about that.
Right? So it's like I think Marco right there.
But another thing with Marco is like, you got to keep in mind that King and Queen, they haven't like, you know, used the hybrids or whatever.
Yeah, that's too. I know.
And I'm not sure how much of a difference that would make. He would probably still body him, but it's just a little, you know, caveat that you got to keep in mind.
Right. And I'm also thinking too with Marco, it's like, do you think that this is the absolute we're seeing from him, or this is just okay? I'm warming up. Like this is you want the beginning, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's like if this was really cool,
he's just now starting to let loose.
That's where I'm worried because King could be a whole different maker. He could literally go from maybe the third or fourth of the first hands to the number one.
The top of the line.
We really don't know.
You're right.
I think Marco's still got more to show.
Exactly, right? So like I feel like now more than ever, Marco and King might be the main fight, and then depends on how you feel with Queen. Like if he's gonna face Sanji, he's gonna face someone else. Like
what do y'all think about the possibility of like a tag team battle, like a 3v3, 2v3 situation, right? Because I know I know there's a lot of conversation in the community about Sanji joining on this fight, but what about if, let's just say, someone like a Yamato perhaps joins, makes this even 3v3? Would y'all be interested in something like that taking place?
See, like King, Queen, and Jack versus Marco, Yamato, and Sanji. Like, I would be down for it because it gives you an indicator for Sanji. Like, we're working alongside a right hand of like a Yongo's crew and seeing what that action is about and elevating him to the status he needs to be by the end of Wano. Because again, it really depends. Because with the Straw Hats, you have by the end of the arc, like you're seeing right now, like Robin and Brooke against Black Maria. You're going against Flying Six. We're just underneath the commanders. Anyone that's not the Monster Trio has to at least match that level, at least going to the end of Wano, because then by the time we get to Blackbeard, by the end of the story, everyone's got to be on a level where they can hold their own in 1v1s or 2v1. At least, so it's not where it's like, okay, you need 4 of them to go and take care of one. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, again, I'm a big fan of the tag teams. I really thought, honestly, we were going to get Zoro and Sanji versus King and Queen. But the direction now is starting to change a bit because giving everyone else indicator of this is the level you got to be at. Like, if you want to be serious and survive in this new world, you got to do it.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, first of all, I'm just surprised at the fighting style, right? I mean, we knew his fighting style was a lot of kicks, a lot of hand-to-hand combat mainly. Didn't because his devil fruit doesn't really his devil fruit doesn't seem to have anything to really do with his with attacking, right? He doesn't really burn anyone. He just can't really get hurt and he can heal people. So seeing the fact that his fighting prowess, just hand to hand, is so clean, and you know he's using hockey too, and it's like, bro, it's the Falcon knee, bro. It's the Falcon knee that he lands on with King. I'm just like, bro, he's pulling everything out. Kneecaps,
everything, bro.
Feet, the beat.
Recon knows the name Bomaye. Like, it's a Bomaye, bro. Like a knee strike. Like that. I'm like, when I seen that, I'm like, bro, But the thing is, now I have very mixed feelings because of certain individuals, you know, memeing around everything. But we're not going to get into that conversation.
Oh well, he did actually. You're right. He did use a flame to injure Queen, right?
Yeah, so he did the whole like thing.
He did Hadouken.
Right, the king. I think it was the king.
That was literal fire.
That was
it was a Hadouken, bro. I'm telling you,
it's like when you see those moments happen in the manga, you know how it's in the anime. You see like the wing being cut, and then the whole spiral thing going back to the little ledge before he goes and attacks King.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna look so good.
Reminded me of fucking reminded me of Fire Force. What's his name? Benimaru. Y'all watch that.
No, I'm only like on episode 6 of the first season still.
I've been on episode 4 for like 2-3 years, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
I dropped.
Damn.
Like I love Okubo, but it's just like I wasn't doing it for me when it was first starting. So
It's the same person that did Soul Eater, right?
yeah.
Hey, get into him, bro. I would say give it.
Soul Eater manga is
Okay, no more than that. Just give it a chance.
Yo, Soul Eater anime's gas until episode 51. Like if you watch till episode 50, that junk is gas,
bro. Pure heat. 51.
I'm
doo
dead.
water immediately.
Yeah, 51's doo water, bro.
The anime hits everything you need from that series. It's just unfortunate, like they went off script. You know, like but
I just sad things, man. Sad things.
But I would be here though for the tag matches though. I think like it depends too. Like, do you feel like Yamato, like where do you think she is in terms of level, like Flying Six, Commander? Because when you see the thing with she,
I think she's above them.
She's definitely
when
Commander.
Bro, after what she did with Sasaki with the freaking hockey bat, like Barry Bonds, like
look what she did. Look what she did to Ulti, bro.
Like, that's some scary stuff. Yeah, well,
for the most part, she's embodying the Flying Six.
Yeah.
Straight up Thunder Bogwood,
Embodying it for the most part.
Bleeding through her mask and everything. Yeah, I was like, wow, all right.
I have a question. Did you guys already? So was anybody impressed by Marco, or did you guys already expect this?
Oh,
I
I'm impressed.
knew Marco was that dude because of what we got to see the snippets of in Wano. I mean, with Marineford and everything, but how he went about it.
Exactly.
It's one thing. You go into a fight with someone, okay, you're on even playing field. Like he hit King and then came in with that like smoke. Like I want this. Like I'm taking you out. Going. And then it's like to go from there, and then Queen getting up and then just getting tagged like a panel, not a page, a panel. You get swung out. Gone.
So you're right.
Posing. He's going down B posing and smash. Like
down,
that's what the bro. Like
I'm
and he's out here saying, "Yo, Tanuki, go get that medicine prepared. Go mass produce what you need to do, man." Like
man said, Tanuki.
I was surprised.
Hey,
I was surprised that he was able to handle both of them at the same time at all. But the fact that he handled them the way that he has in the last chapter, that really just took it over the edge for me.
Yeah, I was surprised that it's two.
I'm just more excited to see like how King and Queen, like if they go into the hybrids and really push it, then it's like, okay, Marco, what's your next gear? How are you gonna try and now top that? Right. So if he tops the both of them, like honestly, it's gonna take a Ben Beckman facing an Admiral, and maybe we don't know, but maybe like
capitalizing on it.
Right, do that. Otherwise, Marco, oh man, I don't know. He might be top one commander of this gen. Like,
might be.
You know,
might be. I mean, I've been advocating for that for a while. I just thought he was always just because of what he really represents. I know Beckman is supposed to be the right hand of Shanks, which is people who believe him to be the strongest Yonko. I'm not going to get into that debate.
Blackbeard.
But people believe him to be why would Beckman be the strongest? But I'm just like, Marco is like the guy that they had as the next Yonko candidate. I think that gives him a lot of clout.
And that backs up too with him as well, because he can. If you do something like this, and like, well, that statement from what the girls has said, it's not cap at all. Like,
oh, you're bodying another right hand and then some. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Like,
especially
I don't know. Of course, they're not going all out. But it would behoove me to say that Marco's not going all out. So
yeah. Yo, what do y'all on the topic of hybrid forms? How do you guys think Oda's gonna bring about revealing the hybrid forms? Is he gonna do it like he did in that chapter where he revealed the Zoans and reveal them all at once, or is he gonna spread it out?
I think he could. So, like do something where Jack gets his hybrid, like seeing the true.
He's called hybrid. Jack's called hybrid.
Like I could really see that happening. But then it's gonna be one of those things where like go back to what I said with Marco. How is he going to do that? Like you're going to get someone else to come in, maybe like Sanji, Yamato, like you were saying before, Recon. You know, like to have that to kind of counter it, because you would think, and they're in their hybrid form. Like right now, we're seeing with Kaido about to go in this hybrid form. It's going to need like you're going to need like some kind of like the Minneapolis miracle to happen to be able to like stop this thing.
Yeah,
the Minneapolis miracle,
bro. I'm telling you, man. Stefan Diggs is going to have to pull up right there, man. Diggs!
He's got to do
That's right.
like you need something like that.
It's gonna need to be that what was it, that 2011 whatever game in Auburn, Alabama. Whenever he kicked it, and brought it back all the way.
That's gonna be Luffy after the 10 minutes are up, and you just come in King Kong's face.
Facts.
No, Marco's been impressive for me. I mean, for me personally, it's been validation. I know, Stebo, you were saying that it was very impressed how he handled it, but you didn't think that he was already of this tier beforehand?
Well, I didn't think that he would be manhandling two commanders. especially not one where, and I know it's kind of like we had our own preconceived notions, like among the fan base, where we just kind of all went along with it with the first, second commander tiers, but it seemed like that was pretty much ingrained, and it didn't just come from nowhere. It was, I felt like it was actually, justifiable,
There's
and
some
the
validity
fact
to
that
it.
he's going up against one with that same rank, and another one that's like, I guess would be the second according to us. It just
Yeah, because I
it blew
so when
me
you say
away.
Steve, when you say according to us, you're kind of right. We made up commander level, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go by the names, well, yeah, I mean the commander, but like if you go by the names and stuff, King, Jack, like King, Queen, and Jack, like I think it's
I know.
standard, like who's
There,
one and
there
two,
should
three.
be hierarchy to it, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
why
when
I
you
say,
say like they're all
which is why I say
cards,
it makes sense. Like it's
Mhm.
well founded. It's not like it just came out of nowhere. We didn't just wake
Yeah.
up one day and decide first, second, third commander.
Commander
Like
level. Like, yeah,
it's always been
of course.
it's always been a reason for that.
Yeah, like when you see like the bounty structure being set up and stuff, like like of course, like we know bounty doesn't always equate to strength, but it tells us the level of danger that someone presents himself as a pirate or whatever it is in the world.
Mhm.
And we see that bounty, you know that they're a threat for a reason. Like they're not going to put 4 billion on your head, and you're just like, oh, I'm here for a cup of tea. No, we're here to catch your ass. Like you're in danger. You're a menace to society. Like
Yeah.
I agree. All right. So, I do want to segue. Same chapter we're talking about. Let's talk Sanji, shall we? Actually, Laz and Recon and Stebo, I don't actually know your thoughts about how Sanji was handled the chapter before.
you talking about when he was facing off of Aragog's sister?
Yes. So I am.
Aragog away. I don't have like I don't hate it as much. If you compare it to how I felt with the cake and stuff back in Whole Cake Island, which I probably would not advise going back to see my only review on One Piece back then, because it was the first time like I actually like midway through a chapter said, you know what, bro, I'm throwing in the towel. Y'all can drop 50 on me in the store. It was just one of those chapters. But like I think for this one it's like maybe 60. But with that moment, it's just like we knew Sanji like wasn't going to be about like trying to like punch a woman and stuff, like him not using the hockey and everything. I do agree with the situation of him being in it. Maybe like it's kind of tough, to like put him in there where he can't do really anything and just really exposing his weaknesses. Shouldn't be in that moment himself. But what it led to afterwards, like the execution after, where it led to Robin and Brooke now about to have their moment, so he can go off and do something else to save a little bit. I get the like why people are annoyed of how it went about, and there's definitely ways that Oda maybe could have made it better. Like say when he was calling for Robin, maybe like if you had the observation hockey moment that Odin had when he went to go find Toki, you kind of have that with Robin and tell us, okay, Sanji knows ahead of time. Like we know Mr. Game Plan, Mr. Prince, like how he be doing his thing. I felt like that made it a missed opportunity to do it for him to kind of save him a little bit. I don't hate it as much as how the others had it, but I do see where people have their issues with it. But again, I think if after the fact, whenever Sanji does have his moment where he takes down one of the commanders after, we'll look at this and say, okay, it was a little blow up, but it led to something for after that we could be completely fine with. Because if it doesn't, then I see where the problem is, where it's like he's being completely shitted on. I think Oda's done it a lot, but at the same time, I don't see it where he's going to be in the negative. He won't be in the red. He's got to be in the black as soon as possible. Like,
dog.
Okay.
When I tell y'all that I love that chapter, man, I don't say that with like any like I mean it 110%, dude. Like I love that chapter so much. Like I think back to I think back to chapter 1 whenever Shanks got all that beer knocked on him at the beginning and everybody was laughing at him. And how much they clowned him before he came out with one of the rawest moments in the series. And I thought about that with Sanji. I was like, yo, this man right now, the entirety of this, everyone on Onigashima is laughing at him. Even the people within our own crew are questioning, like, what in the flying flag nards is this man doing? And so the fact that Oda went about showing that he is in this situation and he's just like, I don't care that I'm in this situation. I need to do what only I can do, and I'm going to go out and do it. Robin, come help me. Let's go. because I got to get out of here. There's something, just like he said back in Water 7, there's certain things that only certain people can do. And so now he's going to go do that very thing. But the fact that he went about that certain situation of like having him being clowned in a similar way to Shanks. Now, I'm not saying there's like a parallel or anything, but I'm just saying usually whenever Oda puts characters in a situation where they get clowned, and then right after that, to show like a really, really fire moment. I'm sure that we're about to get one of the greatest Sanji moments in the series coming here soon. It doesn't matter if it's in a fight or if it's in him doing his Mr. Prince thing, whatever the case may be.
Either or.
But we're about to witness some greatness when it comes to Sanji, man. I can promise you that, dude.
You know, honestly, at this point, and I've been telling people for so long.
Stance.
I've been telling people for so long. People think I want to fight for Sanji. And to be honest with you, a fight would be nice. But I keep telling people what we love about Sanji is not the fights. The fighting style is fantastic.
Espionage.
But it's the Mr. Prince moments.
Mr. Prince.
Everybody wants to see. And they keep saying Zoro. They keep saying fights and W's. I don't give a damn about Zoro and the fights. I don't care. I want to see Sanji lighting a cigarette after NL smoked his ass, but he fucked up the entire plan. I want to see Sanji opening the gates of justice. I want to see Sanji telling Usopp, bro, I can't do this, but I know you can do this. Like the moment with Momo, when he looked at Momo and said, you know what? I'm proud of you, man. You really showed yourself to be a man. Those moments, bro, I live on them. I live on them. That's why I like Sanji. So if I get a nice little espionage feat with Sanji where he does something where he completely derails King and Queen in some way that we never thought would happen, I'm here for it. I'm here.
Me too. Absolutely.
Yeah, because you can honestly say, like, when it comes down to the character, Sanji, like, in terms of characterization, I think is, to me, the better of the two of them is Zoro. Because some of those moments when you see, like, are really, really clutch moments, right? And, of course, he has one of the best fighting styles that we have, like, in the story. Like, a dude would just be out here, like, kicking heads in the temple, like...
Eddie Gordo, baby!
Yeah.
So
Eddie Gordo.
Here's a wild theory. Wild theory. But follow me here. What if what's happening on the rooftop, right? What if that is a little bit ahead of time? And we went back a little bit in time where the Horn of Onigashima fell and it's about to fall into some important area where Sanji's at. And he uses anti-mana kick course to kick the horn back up. Luffy grabs the horn in like Gear 4, spins and uses it to whack Kaido. Imagine that.
Do you know how hype that would be?
That would be the most hype moment I've ever seen because
that would be ridiculous.
When was the
What
last time
made you think of this?
Because
Sanji would be on the roof without being on the roof.
That's what I'm saying. But think about it, because Sanji's people.
I'm not bashing it. I don't hate it.
Well, think about it this way.
Don't hate it.
People say that Sanji can't fight large opponents. But I keep mentioning that Sanji has anti-manner kick course, and to me, it's one of the coolest moves Sanji's ever had. With the gorilla, with the not the gorilla, with oars, and with the banana gorilla and the Davy back banana gorilla, banana crocodile, Christ, and the Davy back fight.
Crocodile, yes.
We need to see it again.
I want to, and I see why people say he struggles against large opponents.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Especially at this point right now, let's see if a giant pulled up. I'm pretty sure you can super kick him in the face, and they're going to be like, in the hospital.
He's probably going to fly all the way to Flower Capital from one of these.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I feel like he's still going to have that really crazy. Like,
yo, Chad, chill out, David. It's just a theory, guys.
No, but they know I said it. So I said wild 4 times.
Yeah, he
emphasized. I emphasized how wild this series. But I'm
see, like, this is
why they are on your ass, bro.
I talked about this to somebody else recently, but I refuse to get hype on Sanji theories like that anymore, because the last time I let myself get like that was in Whole Cake, right? When he was telling Natsu that he needed specific ingredients. Like, I can't remember exactly who. I think it was Twilight. He was saying that Sanji was gonna cook something up related to the 99 vital recipes, and it was gonna like help his situation in some way. But all it really turned out to be was a bento box for the Straw Hats.
So, it fed my boy when we were starving. It did the job.
It served the purpose it was meant to. But like I was like, damn, that vital recipe that's just gonna hit, but it never happened.
I got you.
My main issue with Sanji is really just because I feel like he's been written as a hype tool for several characters, and I don't feel like it's fair to Sanji for him to be treated like that, because pre-time skip, he's a character who is just the epitome of cool. He's the hunter. He's Mr. Prince. He does all these things that are amazing. He embarrasses Jabra. He embarrasses Crocodile. He embarrasses everyone he goes up against. And then the nosebleed thing in Fishman Island, blase. And then he moves on to Punk Hazard, loses his shin bone, whatever. And then Just Rosa loses to Doflamingo's coat. And it's just like, you gotta be. Why am my man being done like this? Why are these characters being? Because we know Sanji's strong, right? So they're showing how strong these other characters are because of what's being done to him, and it's not fair. It's not fair to Sanji. Why are you doing my man like this,
bro? Just to go for that point right there. I think that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like he went up against Dofi, and then he had that thing with the code or whatever that was that went down. But then right after that, Luffy entrusted that man. This man told him, "Yo, Big Mom just pulled up, bro." And Luffy was like, "Dog, I trust in you. Go take care of business, dog. I'm doing my thing over here." So the fact that Sanji, even in Dressrosa, had an opportunity to show off in that way. And then to me, that Mr. Prince moment in Alabasta is special, but that Mr. Prince moment in Zoe was on another tier, bro. This man was doing his thing solo dolo, going into a Yonko's territory, dog. So like I feel like even though he did have those situations in Fishman Island and Punk Hazard and Dressrosa, he followed them up with some massive W's, bro. I mean, it was at least that's the way I look at it.
I think I get what you mean.
Would you call?
Yeah. You're saying because he's putting in the positions to get these grandiose moments. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Now,
precisely.
My question is, with the Zone moment, would you call that's a moment where he was kind of forced? His hand was forced. So him, I think the impressive thing is him getting Nami and all of them out of Capone, and then taking he took someone hostage. To me, I'm just like, all right, that's clean. Like that's clean. Yeah. And then he goes into the Yonko territory. He doesn't really have a choice. I think really what it is that we're so used to Sanji in major moments. I'm talking like series altering moments, arc altering moments, right? Sanji has so many arc altering moments. Like Mr. Prince altered the whole course of Alabasta. Skypiea, I wouldn't say it altered the entire course. Actually, it might have. Now I think about it, because he saved Nami and Usopp, took the heat and destroyed the Maxim, gave Luffy time to catch up to him, right?
Yeah.
Whole Cake Island, the cake. Laz, you hate the cake. It's funny because as a Sanji stan, I love the cake. I defend the cake. I defend it. Cake, my only issue with the cake is I wish I saw more of him making it. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all. I just wish I saw more of that, because for me, this is sad, right? And Recon, you posted filler of Zoro Sanji washing the dishes one time, right?
Yeah.
Every time I watch a filler, when I
remember that.
Every time I watch a filler, why is it always that Sanji's greatest cooking exposés are in filler? Why? Yeah. I need to see, because when Sanji starts cooking, bro, he is the coolest character in One Piece. And I'm not kidding.
I agree.
Like, there's no one cooler in One Piece than Sanji when he starts cooking, because it's like, you got the suave, he's explaining to you every ingredient he's putting in. He's so swift, the knife work. I'm like, bro. Yeah. So it's like, if Oda showed us his cooking skills with the cake, that would have been very nice. And I think a lot more people would have enjoyed the whole cake moment, because we saw the skill of the cook. Because it's one thing to hear them say, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Look how he's stirring the chocolate. But if he explains the technique and goes into depth, and all we need is one panel, I feel like people would remember that moment so much more. And I think that's what's missing, is that we're not seeing the in-depth look at the moment that Sanji's having. And it seems more rushed because it's more about the plot rather than the character.
Yeah, I also think too, another thing, and I this does definitely come from the fact that like maybe I did read it like in a different light, because it's like you forget too, it's an escape mission. They're not there to fight anyone. Like we got the Luffy and Katakuri thing, because if you didn't have that, they're gonna be chased to the ends of the earth, and then whatever's happening right now in Wano will be way more chaos, because you have Katakuri there, you have probably Smoothie's gonna be able to do something. Who knows? Maybe we don't know what the dimensions are gonna be like. But when you see how that all pans out, where it's like we're on the escape and everything, you have to figure some kind of way to do it. But at the same time, you think, okay, if I'm going to a Yonko's territory, I'm not saying Big Mom, but let's say after the fact with Kaido, right? And we're trying to get the steps to getting there to where it's like I could see him fighting against one of the commanders, and then lovely jumbly, we're good. And then you see what the stuff afterwards, where with Alvin and everything, it's like, you know, you wish you could have got a little bit more where he actually like puts one of them down. I'd be fine with it because then it's like you go into the fights, let's say with Queen or Jack, whatever it may be. There's no questions after. Like again, fighting against the Flying Six against Page One, I think also kind of helped him out because now if he goes in that fight after with a commander, there's no issues. But I think it's the whole thing too. I think came with after was my problem, not with Sanji, but mainly like how Big Mom, like the whole situation went, where it's like you figured the rest of like Jinbei and the crew, his crew, were gonna be taken out. Jinbei's there. He's not fish nuggets. He's not sushi. He's there, and that means to me that they failed in doing what they were supposed to do, which was take out everybody there to kind of show you that yeah, you escaped the Yonko's crew, but there's casualties. You lost stuff. There's things that are gone, and I feel like when you look back on that moment, it's like with Sanji's okay, you baked the cake, and then it's like it just went back to zero. Is where my issue was. So they got the escape there, but it's like all of that could have probably happened without the cake. Really. If I was gonna let the Big Mom doing what she did, which you know, Jinbei's now there, like it just makes me wonder. Like
I can't disagree.
You know, it's
I can't disagree with what he's saying.
and that's what's like. I don't hate Hulk and Island. I just want to stress this out. I don't hate it as much as I did on the first time and stuff. I think it's a good arc, but it definitely is one of the worst arcs.
I needed to run it back.
There's some stuff where back and forth. I'm like, man, Oda, you really could have just gone one way or another. Because Sanji, I appreciate the whole stuff as flashback afterwards. We see the whole thing, but I think after when the cake tumbled down and it's like, okay, we're going to the escape, get out of here. That's where I started. Like my issues started to come into light with what was going on.
Personally, I mean, before I get into it, I want to preface it by saying I actually like the idea of the cake. I just wish we got more for our boy.
Yep.
But I don't personally like when people go that route where they say it was a get in and get out operation, it was a rescue mission, because with that in mind, you say that and then you look at Luffy, who's fighting for his life, and he gets fights against two different commanders in this arc, and Sanji is barely able to clash with guys that are underneath those commanders. Like, I would have just liked to see more to uphold that status of Sanji being one of the top fighters of the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say this attitude, Stebo. So let's say go back on the reread, because again, we have the Flying Six system now with Kaido and stuff, right? And you figure at least maybe for like Oven, Sparrow, and stuff, you would think that if they were to combat against the Flying Six, Oven, the genie, his name's not, you know, whatever. But like, but Daifuku and stuff. But it's like with those guys, if you were to pair them up against a Flying Six, would you think Oven would be able to hold his own against Page One, Sasaki, those guys?
Yeah, I think.
And then when when you say that,
Daifuku would, but personally, I think Perisparrow was above them though.
Right. But I'm saying, yeah, but at least like you get where there's like a level. Whereas a level I'm saying where you now, because after again with Wano, you get to see the Flying Six where there is a category underneath the commanders. Because before our ideology was Yonko, commanders, and then the infantry. And then now it's like there's actually like headliners, the Flying Six. So like when you look at like that, I guess on the reread, let's say Oven did get defeated, like Sanji actually beat one of them, and it's like okay, he beat now technically two Flying Six members, right, or at least caliber fighters. You beat one in Whole Cake Island, you beat one in Wano before going to a commander. At least you give me like if it was like that, okay, then I have no problems. At least do whatever you have to do, at least get something. But again, I always have to remember as well as an escape mission. They're not trying to fight. Luffy having the fight category was to make sure they got the hell up out of here. Otherwise, they're not getting out.
If that would have happened, I would have been a lot more comfortable. But at the same time, I always viewed them like the ministers of Whole Cake. I kind of always viewed them in that light anyway. As soon as Jinbei gave the whole spiel about how they only saw the tip of the iceberg for the Big Mom Pirates before the ministers were introduced. Yeah. Like as soon as he said that, I kind of viewed them like, okay, these are these guys that are going to be really strong, but not exactly commander level, but just like right up underneath them. So I already had that kind of feeling for them. So
the Flying Six guys.
Yeah, and even with that in mind, it still didn't feel like it was enough, you know. But with Sanji only like and when he did get into action, it was clean as hell. Like I was going crazy when he speed blitzed Oven. Like
You
that was
wanted a
amazing.
result though from it, like an actual
Yeah.
result where it shows like okay,
That
like
speed
let's say he
blitz was
folded,
good.
like if he get a fold, like the speed blitz I think is still a great feat too because it shows like he can do that to one of those guys. I think it's the result because like if he folded one of them and then blitz while on the escape, that's impressive as hell. Because not only can you make the run, but like if you take out one of them on the run, like that was actually dope.
Whenever he dodged Katakuri's beat.
That was a hype moment. A lot of
That
people
was
were
crazy.
freaking
I mean,
out when
I was
that
hyped.
happened.
I was flipping.
I
out
was
in my mind.
freaking out. I said, "Yo,
That was
Katakuri was like, I
crazy.
saw the future. Wait a minute, how did he move? How did he leave? Yo, wait a minute."
That shit was
No,
nuts.
I
I'm
was
shot
like-
the priest.
I was like, I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand. That's something Luffy didn't even do until like multiple chapters into the fight.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show. I think what Oda needs to do, in Wano, he needs to highlight his observation hockey prowess. I think it has to come into play at some point. Because we know it's not just about women anymore. Because if it was just about women, that Katakuri feat wouldn't have mattered. So
Yeah.
I think in his fight, if we get the raid suit, we get Diablo Jambe mixed in with the raid suit, and we get the observation hockey mixed together, I think he has the tools to face someone extremely powerful. I really think so.
I agree.
I think he has the tool set.
I mean, I think he kind of has it right now, though. To be fair,
Well,
like at the stage, he should. It's just a matter of like getting the actual like results prior to that, so we don't need to question it whatsoever. But right now, we are questioning it because, like page 1, like go on the manga, we have to go by the anime to say like he defeated page 1.
Well, we know
some
we know the
people.
anime. We know the anime is now. There's lots of it
Yeah.
that's in canon filler, and for me,
I know, I understand. If Oda says to me like, okay, whatever happens in the anime is fine. So I'll admit Katakuri has a machine gun that he somehow gets in his heart. But when you
I
see
actually
moments
thought
like
that I thought that made sense though. The category machine gun. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just
No, it's fine. I just felt like it was one of those where it's like, okay, you got to
It's
take
clean.
everything. Like, remember, because people knows this with Maras. Remember the whole 6-arm Luffy?
Yeah,
and then it ended up being
I
true
was right.
afterwards. and
I
I'm
was right
like,
there with him. I was right there
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah, I
Still
remember those days. I
represent.
was like, what are you talking about? Then, yeah.
Come on, Zay.
So it's like, I think that's the thing. It's like you question it, and whether you believe it, you're on that side that thinks, okay, he can handle his own and stuff. I think he could, but it's like, I need to see results. Not like, you can't show me the beginning of a fight and then cut the pay-per-view afterwards before the knockout punch. Like, it just doesn't happen. I want my money back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think
And I think it makes it worse too. And I know Zoro's my guy still, allegedly to some, but seeing the end results of the Kamazo fight with Killer, it's like you can show me the end results of that, but can't show me that to Sanji or somebody else. And that I feel is disrespectful because it's like, how am I going to take the rest of the crew serious whenever we face Blackbeard at the end if this is how you're going to go about things for the rest of the story until we get to that final arc? Like, you know, like, okay, I believe in Luffy and Zoro, but like, what about the others if they face the other commanders? Like, that's not going to be believable enough for me. You know,
Yeah.
like, okay, we're going to have to play 3-on-1, 4-on-1. Like, it just doesn't work like that.
I think that's where Onigashima's about to come into play, man. We're about to.
That's what I
get
feel
to
like.
see
I tell people, this is our Ennie's lobby of the new
I
world.
really hope so.
This is
We're
the
getting
Ennie's lobby.
jumped today, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we get 2-on-1s,
I'm
but it's
hoping
like
for it.
after this arc, everyone that's underneath the monster trio is flying 6. That's just underneath the commanders. Zoro and Sanji will be commander level. Jinbei is a former warlord, one that, or depends on how you believe, like pre-time skip, how high he was. But that has to do with
He
experience.
should be pretty high.
That's to do with experience.
Should be
And then
pretty
you got-
high.
And then you got Luffy, who, depending again, he could be an actual proper Yonko after this arc, not just in name, but status. In
Yes, sir.
maybe like the baby like version rookie like power, like to be classified in that name. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have right now. This is the perfect arc to really settle the debates on if this guy's strong enough to handle his own. No, this is the arc, and
Yeah.
you got to see those results.
And we will. It's
Shut
time,
up or
baby.
shut up.
Definitely,
Let's
we're putting championship belts around everyone's waist, starting off with Robin
Yo,
and Black Maria. Like,
that's
we
right.
we're taking every limb on Black Maria.
Back, lads.
I'm saying right now.
And he spit.
We're
In a
keeping
Yes,
the
man.
listen. We're keeping the top half. That's all that matters. But go ahead.
Hey, let him know. Let him know. Yakuza, baby, let's go.
Facts, man.
No, yeah, it's about to be a lot of fun here, man. We're about to see. I hope that we get a couple of I know in the community we always make fun of the Rayleigh flashbacks and whatnot, but I think it would be a lot of fun to get the flashbacks of like just even like if it's a couple panels and the anime can can give us some more stuff on it. But to see what everybody was doing post time skip or during the time skip, I think that would be really cool. I understand that it's already been a while since then, but let's just say during Robin's fight or whatever, you get like this awesome little flashback to her training with the Revolutionary Army or whatever, right? Like I think that would be a really cool little sequence to have in the middle of that fight. And I think you could do that with all the other individuals as well. But I guess it depends on the way that that Oda wants to handle the way that Onigashima is going to go from this point on. But I definitely do agree with you. I think this is going to be the arc where the Straw Hats, where I think after this arc, there's going to be no doubt in my mind where everybody's going to be. I mean, I'm not going to say no doubt because of the way the series has gone so far. I feel like there's several different points where we've said that, but I feel like after this arc, at the very least, we're going to have a general idea, general scope of where they're going to be from a power level standpoint. At the end of all this.
Like after this arc, to me, because I still think Luffy will have a big part in taking down Kaido, like actually final shots or whatever. But like after this arc, the other thing, the Straw Hat Crew is gonna be a Yonko crew,
no question.
If the others hold their own against the Flying Sticks,
they don't have a choice
from
but
top
to
to
be.
bottom. Like islands, they're probably gonna take islands. Like they have islands in their names because of the friendships they had along the way and stuff that got them that. But like after that, it's like, are you really gonna question them if they're a Yonko crew? Okay, they're gonna have it. Then afterwards, they're gonna have to try and hold it up. You know, like to the man, like, are we really about it? Because Luffy right now is in question. After this arc, everyone's gonna be in question because it's like they're gonna be even more targeted. And especially go to Elbaf, which has the best military in the world, and we had to fight those guys to further enhance their names. Like Oda, just results, man. The results are all we need just to settle all the stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait for the epic one-liners. They've already started, like with Robin and her epic one-liners. I can't wait for the rest of the Straw Hats and their well, I should say Robin and Luffy. They both had some awesome one-liners, but when everybody else gets down into it, we're gonna see some really.
I'm a demon.
Yeah, some really.
Thou tis a demon. Thou tis hath be a demon. I don't know what the British literature they gave Robin, but yes, she's a demon child now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for it going forward. Sanji's slander aside, I know we're gonna get a lot of good things going on forward with the rest of Onigashima and the conclusion of Act 3 or however Oda's gonna conclude it. It's gonna be pretty good. Do you guys have any predictions for the conclusion of Act 3?
So on my end, I think it's going to go one of two ways or both. Either the final chapter before the end of the act is everybody going into hybrid form, or at the very least Kaido going into hybrid form, and the act ends. Or Kaido, or we see, I shouldn't say Kaido goes into hybrid form. I should say we see the hybrid form. Kaido's hybrid, whatever.
The hybrid.
And so
hybrid, yeah, hybrid. That's perfect.
Whenever
the hybrid form.
I'm telling you, bro. And so like so we see the hybrid form, and then like the Onigashima falls onto the flower capital, or at least is falling towards it, and that's how he decides to end it, because it has to end on some sort of shocking thing so that we'll be excited to come back to it. So I don't know if he's going to end it on the people on the roof getting smacked by Kaido, or if he's going to end it on everybody already have been smacked by Kaido, and then the flower capital coming down upon, or Onigashima falling down upon the flower capital, and then he decides to end it there. But I think it's going to be somewhere in that space, because I think the next couple of chapters are going to be furthering where everybody is, setting up some more of where the fights are going to take place under the roof, so that the individuals that they're fighting are going to be forced, just like King and Queen, force their hands into hybrid form. And then once we see everybody else's hybrid form, then we're going to see the boss's hybrid form in Kaido. And then that's whenever I think we'll get the end of the act, because I think Act 4 is going to be whenever we start bouncing back after getting, like, because right now we're in a pretty good spot, but once they start hitting hybrid form, we're going to be pushed back a bit. And then I'm pretty sure Act 4 is going to be us climbing back and finding a way to defeat them in their hybrid forms. That's the way that I see it.
It's so tough. It's so tough because it's like one of the ideas I've always had too, and because it's like we have Drake here, the whole conversation with Kobe and what's going on. I would love to see the Marines somehow intervene this arc, and we know for a fact that like about the gondola, how Apu and stuff came up afterwards. If Drake knows that information and he's able to get them to come through that spot, it would be crazy if, let's say, like at the very end of Act 3, it's like the Marines are outside Wano getting ready to make the invasion, so we have another party to worry about during this whole thing. So I have that. maybe we get to see the end of the fights below the rooftop, because I feel like based on the acts, 5 acts, 4 has to be like going into the climax itself before the conclusion. So 4 has to be the fight with like Kaido and Big Mom against everyone else who's on the top, or let's say the others make their way and it's an all-out battle afterwards. So like, I feel like whenever we go back to the hybrid like thing, the curtains close and the curtains open again for the actual true final fight, whether it's like 2 or 3 chapters, like however long it may be. Because again, like I think the days of us getting like these 10, 15, 20 chapter fights are non-existent now. I think you can still be able to get a lot of that done in a short amount of time. So I could see that possibly happen. Either Drake has like the Marines coming in, getting ready to make the invasion or something. Maybe the flower capital, like they see the Onigashima popping up like right there and it just stops right there. And then that's how the act ends. Or we get the hybrid fight to like close out 3 and then we open up 4 with go into the fights.
The way I see, there's been one particular idea that stuck with me, because I feel like I had like 3 of them in like the chapter before we went back inside the dome. But the one that stuck with me is that basically it's kind of how it's unfolding now. I thought that Oda would take his time going through each different scenario that's taking place within the dome and like carefully lay it out and let us know exactly where everyone is and see a little bit of action between the different fights, and maybe King and Queen probably be dealt with before we get back to the dome. And then like KingRecon said, that we finally get back to the threat of Onigashima falling on the flower capital. And then because a lot of people have been speculating that it'd be a big tragedy or whatever, because that's how the Kabuki plays out. And so I figured that of all the things that are poised to happen so far throughout this arc, I think that'll be the most tragic thing that could happen if that's the route that Oda decides to go. So I can see that being exactly where it ends, but I think he's gonna, like I said, take his time and go through every different scenario in Onigashima so far before getting back to the top. And Kaido's like talking shit like, haha, about to drop that thing. Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna cut a promo.
Drop that
thing.
Drop that thing.
And that's how Act 3 ends in my mind.
Sure. No, I'm actually kind of on board with Laz with the hybrids coming out for the main contenders such as the All Stars. And I would say I'm kind of also in tune with the ending of the fights with the Flying Six. I feel like that's like once they're done, everybody finally goes to the rooftop and views the big dogs at work getting ready to go up against the Yonkos. And I think that's how Act 3 ends.
Yeah, because can you imagine though, like after all that, like Marco, Yamato, Sanji are just like after just whipping ass on the commanders, and they just say we're not done. Really, you know how like most of the time, like after they fall back, they just keep going up, bro, to the rooftop. That would be such a bad thing because it tells us like they're not like they're different now. They just keep on going, even if they get their asses beat. Just the fact of them getting up to the rooftop after the fight itself, it's like like they're the truth.
So on that same wording, like, would you guys see us? So let's just say that does end up happening, and then I don't know, we see it from Sanji's perspective or whatever. He goes up to the roof. Do you guys think that we're gonna see the aftermath through Sanji's eyes, like of what took place after Kaido went hybrid form? Like is that what
you can't help but say hybrid. No,
yeah, I can, dude. Like I want to say hybrid. I want to say hybrid, but hybrid. But what's that called?
I'm gonna be fucking that up too now. Like, I can't even say I'm not gonna be able to say hybrid anymore. So go ahead.
No, go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say. So do you expect the next time that we look up to see the Kaido's hybrid form or him or the aftermath of what took place in the roof, we're gonna see that from somebody else's perspective, not from the perspective of the roof, like of somebody else going up there and seeing it from their own eyes?
It's very possible. I just really hope that we don't see a whole bunch of asses kicked and Luffy just now getting back. I don't want everyone to be like Dunzo by the time Luffy arrives. You know what I mean?
Because you kill so many people's stock, like with that.
Yeah.
Like if I see Law, everyone
that would not be good at all.
Yeah, because what's the point of the rivalry if Luffy's the only one up? You know what I mean? Like
correct. And he's the one that finishes ultimate. Oh, I would not like that at all. It's like they're just slumped. They're in a divot. They're just like done. And then Luffy's like, I'm back. Time limit over. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, no, please.
I think it would be actually pretty cool is like if we go back there and Luffy's like about to get to the 10 minute mark and everyone else is trying their best to hold off against like
I would love that.
Kyber.
And they're still going
Right?
strong.
And then like if there's a time we're ever gonna see like the perfect form of Gear 4 or the Gear 5, whatever it may be, that would be that would be the way you end the act, where it's like Kaido at his best, Luffy at his alleged best to this date, and them's going at it and seeing like how far Luffy can take this in the fight against it, because we know he has now the Rio needed to go and try and hurt him. But if he has this next form, what else can you do that can match or best what you're seeing from Kaido? Not to mention the fact with Big Mom being there, it's a tough thing too, because it's like trying to go back and forth with them. You need enough people to be there, which is why I kind of hope like Marco and them come in. Maybe we get some more that like a Drake or whatever it is, right? To try and like even this out, because with two Yonko there, you think that they're just home run derby, honestly.
Oh, bro, they straight up Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa out there.
I'm
dude.
saying, man, like, it's wild. Like this dude's holding the club, and he's like, "Yeah, I haven't had that much fun in a long time since the last derby." You know what I mean? Like, oh, bro,
It's gonna be nuts. I do love that though. Like just the idea of us going up there or the next time that we go up there and we see everybody else like trying their absolute hardest. Like the next time we go and see the rooftop, we see some nasty team attacks and like some law doing rooms out of the like from everything. I'm gonna get you out of this situation. I'm getting you out of the situation. Zoro's blocking for dear life. Kid is out here plus like that would be awesome. I would love to see like everyone trying their hardest to take this man out. I
need a Kid Magneto moment, man. Something, man. Something. Yeah. Like I love listening. Recon knows how much we love the wrestling. Like again, if it was any other person there, like underneath the Yonko, whatever, their necks getting snapped. Why them damn suplexes? I'm just saying.
I like the Brock Lesnar-esque attack. I'm
saying like an F5 to like
whatever. I like that.
Come on, man. Like
my subscribers came in my head like, you liked Kid Suplex? Like, yeah, I did.
Bro, it's like you listen. You like the flying knee. I like a German suplex.
Yeah.
What's the difference? What's the difference, right?
Like, dog. Any wrestling move in One Piece gets me hyped, dude. I don't care, dog.
like a certain series I'm not gonna say the name, but did a Hurricanrana into a dropkick into a Hurricanrana. If you know the series, you know. But it's like when I see stuff like that, that's goats. I don't care, bro. German suplex, back, whatever, man. It's goats. If you don't like fun, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like,
yeah, I don't know. That's entertainment to me, player.
Good.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what it is with me in chapter predictions or predicting what's gonna happen at the end. I personally don't like doing them. I don't like doing them at all, just because it's very hard to predict, and it's mainly just purely headcanon and hopes and wishes. And agreed. If I think about what is gonna happen, then I'm gonna start expecting it and hoping I get it right. And sometimes I'd really just like to go in with an empty mind, and that's something that I've been really starting to do, which is why I'm very big on people not hinting in the chat, which is what I've seen people do quite a few times. Don't give me an expectation of what I should see in the chapter.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't do it. Because you enjoy,
because then it's like if you complain afterwards while we feel a certain way about
it. I didn't mean to do chapter.
No, not you, not you. Because I want to contribute, but in my heart of hearts, I just know I can't, because my mind is wired to not try and predict what's gonna happen. I don't do
I appreciate you
do it.
I feel you, dude.
Yeah, like if it's a theory. The theory is based on information we already know, so I'm like, all right, this might where it's go. But when you're talking about the end of an arc, I'm just like, I don't know how to do that. Like, it's like I'm fighting. So it's like I could just give a bullshit answer, but it's like I don't know. I mean, this is not my cup of tea.
Drift. Trust me, I completely understand where you're coming
from. That's fair.
Yeah.
I do have a Nico Robin theory coming out soon too. I'm very excited about that one. Now I'm just saying there's 3 really interesting. So actually, I'll say this right at the end of Act 3. I am hoping that Robin's role is explored more now that everyone knows she's a target and that CP0's here. I want CP0 to do something that would cause a change within the war. I just, if there's any prediction I'd have, is that CP0 acts, and I think that's the best I can give.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you this though, Jay, because it depends on like how you believe the members of CP0 that are here. Is this all of them, or are we gonna see Rob Lucci pull up?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it.
That's all they got.
If Rob Lucci pulled up, it would be way too aggressive because Rob Lucci is causing major problems if he pulls up. I'm talking severe, like I'm talking first commanders are in danger if Lucci pulls up. Like legitimate people sleep. Yes. I don't know where we got this notion that we can sleep on Rob Lucci, knowing the skill of a fighter he has. And we know that
I don't know where we got this notion. I don't know where we got to be that far away.
Wait, you're saying you don't know where you got that notion that he's that far away?
I said that we have to be that far awake.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Okay. You're saying people why we sleep on him? Why we need to be awoken?
Okay, so my question is think about how the Marines are trained, right?
Okay.
They are specifically trained to use hockey. Garp showed us with Kobe and all of them, right? So if you tell me someone as skilled a fighter as Rob Lucci that we saw the backstory and everything, you mean to tell me he got to the ranks of CP0 without improving drastically and learning hockey to a degree where he already has a Zoan? He's probably awakened, and we know what awakened Zoans can do. So you're at awakened Zoan to the skill sets of a CP0 agent? And you mean to tell me he is not minimum first commander?
He's not.
When he had already mastered the 6 powers, that's a strong backbone.
My goodness. Nah, man. If Lucci pulls up,
mentality.
Bro, and it's the mentality. If Lucci pulls up, major issues. Major.
Yeah.
And he had 2 years to do this, by the way.
And by the way,
I'm gonna let you have this one, Jay.
Oh, no. And I got something for you. If you don't want to believe it, what happened to Stampede? Who was he fighting in Stampede?
I argue.
Yeah, I know.
All right. I rest my case.
Sabo can do whatever he's doing with the admirals and stuff. Who's to say like Lucci can't do with those underneath? Like, at least. Or I love Listen, because here's the thing, though, Virgo. Here's the thing, though. If you look at the other members of CP0 that are here right now, what if those guys are as strong as the way we're thinking right now of what Lucci could be, and those guys can prove that like they are on that level? Like it just boosts up that organization even more.
And there's some trouble, and if that's the case, then I understand why Blackbeard ran.
Because that means like they don't have no scrubs with them. Like Robert, he's a scrub. He's not joining
I get it.
them, right? Yeah. Kaku and them are not joining. Stuzzy would be back at the pleasure quarters. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. Not wrong. I don't think Rob Lucci is weak by any means. It's just like you think he's at the level of Sabo?
It depends on what you want to believe.
I mean, I'm just saying it's I don't think he's at the level. I don't think he's at the level of Sabo. He's not. But it's about portrayal. Think about the perception of Boa Hancock after Stampede.
Yeah. Because before people said she was one of the weaker ones because she's a woman, but that's not the case. No, she's actually strong.
It's the idea that of what she can do is what Stampede did. Oh, she could probably do this in canon material.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. You gotta go off something. You gotta go off something. At the end of the day, you have to go off something. If you're making a movie about a character, you have to go off something.
Bro, everybody goes off the anime too for feats as well that don't see in the manga. So like anything is fair game at the end of the day.
I'm not those guys.
I mean, bro, people take context from the manga out of whack to go with their agenda. Like it happens in any story, bro. Like,
y'all gonna have to give me some time to sleep on that one.
Let me ask
you. I'm gonna have to dive into that one.
Okay, but Virgo, let me ask you though: is Rob Lucci in your top 30?
No.
He wasn't in mine either. Like I'm just saying. I'm just saying because again, we have to see more from what's going on.
Okay.
Wait.
And we might have we definitely have first commanders in our top 30. So wait, Jay, hold on, Jay. Was Lucci in yours?
He was actually numbered. He was number 23. I told you. I swear to God, I always believed this. Always. Right below Shiryu. I'm not playing with you. He was above Dofi. I promise you. Promise you. Credible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's not credible. Yeah,
Credible.
I got the list right here. You want to see it?
Wait.
You want to see this? Wait, y'all, can y'all see it? Hold
I
on.
don't think you're lying.
yeah.
by
See that?
any
It's
means.
backwards, but you see it? You see Dofi there?
Bro,
You see Rob Lucci right there. You see that?
Bro,
Rob Lucci.
It might be a
Hold on,
little
wait. Hold on, bro. You have Lucci above Dofi, bro?
Yes, I have Lucci above Dofi. I have Lucci above Dofi.
I gotta hear this, dude. Give me the reason.
I gotta hear this too.
Give me the reasoning, bro.
With Doflamingo, right? With Doflamingo's skill as a fighter, there's, to me, the most skilled fighters we've seen in the series. Doflamingo, Katakuri, Rob Lucci, right? We're talking about pure skill on display. Facets of fighting, different styles of fighting. Those are the three that you can point to. Katakuri separates himself with his devil fruit being very multifaceted and his observation haki. I don't know why my camera like this, right? With Rob Lucci, we've clearly seen what an awakened Zoan can do. We've seen it now. It would shock my soul if someone as skilled as Rob Lucci is not awakened his devil fruit, has not improved. And the thing is, think about the portrayal of characters we've seen like Odin, Big Mom, all these characters, right? They start off as child prodigies. Who is a child prodigy? Rob Lucci. So you mean to tell people talking about he doesn't have the same trajectory of growth as Luffy? Rob Lucci's a child prodigy. You mean to tell me that there is no way he's not growing off screen to a point where he's ranked as one of the main members of CP0?
Nigga, Neji was a child prodigy.
Hold on.
yeah, but you're bringing up Naruto.
That's just a terrible point. Hold on.
I'm messing with him.
Okay, so then he's bumped up to a level where he is directly answering to Tenryubito and the Gorosei. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there is no way the Gorosei is employing a scrub to be in CP0 and a main combatant on top of that.
I agree.
So
with that.
there's an automatic level Rob Lucci's at, and we know his ability as a fighter. So for him not to be commander level in that position is fraudulent beyond measure. So that's the cutoff point. Then you take in the skill as a combatant, you take in his devil fruit, the awakened Zoan, Rokushiki techniques that have clearly upgraded. Then you add in haki on top of that. Imagine him not mastering at least one form of haki. Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you see why I'm scaling him so high.
I got you.
And then imagine when we find out what happened with Sabo, imagine Rob Lucci playing a role in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Because we know he's there when it all happened. So this is where my reasoning has come from. So like a lot of people was like, oh my God, why would you say it's all there? You have it all.
Well, that's the thing. Even the people in chat too, it's like, again, with Sabo, where do you rank Sabo? Because if Lucci, again, because you have to go by whatever's available to you. If Stampede is where we see those two matching up, and Sabo's supposed to be on the level of the Admirals, like, what are we doing? Like, there's no way that he would be any lower than that because Sabo would have taken care of him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like there's no like evidence to say that it's like there's no way you can say that it's not possible. He can't be on that level. But I think it's one of those things too. Now I think in the manga we have to actually now see it. There's a lot of show that isn't being told. All right, but I think there's nothing you can say that can disagree on that because again, you brought up with the prodigy and everything. Not everyone's gonna stay at the same level after you get your ass whipped. You're not just like, okay, you're out the league. Like to treat people like they're like what was it, Rodney Magruder? Like, come on, we're not gonna be doing that.
Oh no.
And then last think about it this way, right? Think about it this way. You know that hockey is tied to your will. Rob Lucci got beat down by Luffy, completely defeated. This man built himself back up and then got a fucking promotion.
Yeah. Yes,
and you mean to tell me he doesn't have the will to be strong? What this is I try to tell people, it's like you cannot use Luffy beating an antagonist to downgrade him. It's like downgrading Dofi, Crocodile's out here parrying Mihawk. Mihawk in Marineford.
And you're talking like 2 years ago too, so it's let's say if Luffy was going to fight with Lucci right now, right? Like, okay, maybe Luffy still beat him, but it's not like he went down in skill. He went up, which wouldn't be impressive to Lucci because like he held it down.
And you want to know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Rob Lucci is virtually just a pre-time skip Katakuri. Because think about the fact that Rob Lucci was whooping Luffy's. That Rokogan should have killed Luffy. It should have killed that nigga, and we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
he
is
refined his technique,
bro. And it's like he's rubber. That's internal damage. His organs must have been annihilated, but he somehow got up and then threw a random Gatling. And then Rob Lucci's like, all right, well, I'm finished. It's over.
Yeah, because it's like honestly, any other opponent, like we go back to like a Nell, especially if it's because he had rubber, that's how he won. There's other factors in it too, but any other person, Straw Hats die in Skypiea. So it's like we look at that fight too. If Luffy didn't have that rubber to help him out in those scenarios, I mean, we'd be looking at things in a different perspective right now. So I do think Lucci definitely is underappreciated in some capacities because it's like the only thing people have to look at right now is the past.
Of course.
Because right now all we're seeing is like he's just talking, whatever, but it's like that doesn't mean he's in the G League. It doesn't mean he's playing in Europe. It doesn't mean any of that. Now, like if he's in the CP0 and there's a certain category in the story they're going to represent as a force to watch out for, they're not supposed to be scrubs. We don't go backwards, we go forward with these things. So to go from 9 to 0, and we know with some series and how they handle the number 0 as the absolute.
Right.
I love it. I love the reasoning, man. Robert D. Lucci, baby.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see him again. I also think he's the strongest. I also think he's the strongest CP0 agent, but that's more just headcanon. That's not really. I don't have any evidence about it.
That's one of the things where it's like
No, Blue Scarf.
Yeah, well, it's tough because it's like when I see the other members that are there, it's like I really want to see like the long limb ones. Like if he actually be throwing like the flicker jabs, like he's real Mashiba. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to see like. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine like a hockey like flicker jab, like you just get knocked off. Like come on, bro.
He's too skilled, bro. He's just too skilled as a fighter to underestimate.
Yeah,
he's just too skilled.
Yeah, it's not just the info that they're like so big on 2 CP0. Literally, they're combatants in their own right too. You have to imagine, right? Yeah. If Susie wasn't a combatant in her own right, which the little things we saw back in OK Island, she would not be with them whatsoever. Kaku's with them too. Kaku didn't regress.
I will do my research.
Kaku might be Chris Bosh, but Chris Bosh is still Uber.
That's right.
You have to reevaluate. Gotta go. Yeah, I'm just saying. And the thing is, like,
reevaluate my Rob Lucci stand.
I have him again, and guys,
look into it.
I only have him at 23. It's not like I'm saying he's fighting Marco or Ben. I'm not saying he's fighting Katakuri. I think Katakuri will probably beat him mid-diff. You know.
Wait, one question real quick. Who's above Lucci? Who's below? 22 and who's 24?
Shiryu is above him.
Shiryu ahead.
And Dofi is below him. And Bo Hancock's below Dofi. So I think he's in that tier. I also have Zoro over Rob Lucci, by the way. Yep, Zoro and Rayleigh. Yeah, so you see where I'm going here. Like he's like right in between that. A lot of those, you know. I'm just saying he's right in the middle.
I'm messing with you.
I was gonna say Jay. I was gonna speak on the Zoro part, but then I thought about my mental health for a second, so we'll continue.
I was like, yeah, don't.
Save yourself.
Dude, I think I mean we don't have to discuss this any further if you don't want to, but I honestly do believe that at the very least I think I have Hancock over Lucci right now.
That's not even, that's not a bad take at all.
Yeah.
That's not. That's nowhere near a bad take.
Because it's like, bro, she's one of the only other characters we know that has all 3 forms of hockey and might be. I want to say might be close to mastering all of that.
Bro, she is the biggest wild card in the series. I keep telling people, Bo Hancock is the biggest wild card in the series.
Yeah,
you know, man, like
Hancock and Mihawk.
She's never been stressed out.
Get beat to sleep.
That's why I'm kind of excited for that fight with Colby if we actually get it, because obviously in our first,
I will be livid, bro. Oh my god,
I would be livid too.
I would be upset. I'm not gonna lie.
But at the same time, it's like if we could Colby to actually like go 1-on-1 with one of these beasts,
why don't
actually show us some? Even though obviously we would have been nice to show some beforehand.
I don't know,
but
I should want it, but like. I feel like he makes it easy for me to not like him.
Well, you see,
Colby.
I mean, it's tough because it's like we could have saw stuff from before, maybe, but I think like, if, let's say for example, we had to follow Colby's side of the story at like early parts, and that was the way Oda was going to do it. I think we'd be all the way back in, I don't know, I want to say Dressrosa Zoe, if we had to follow the story like that, where we had to see the other perspective. Even if let's say it's like one tiny arc, but it would just like hold things back a tinge for what we're getting like right now. So I would have to expect that over time. He's having those little moments, like he's having like the whole incident with Law, Rocky Poor and stuff.
Rocky Poor,
elevate him after, right? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it definitely be tough because, like, again, before that link, I was on the bow of slander, but now we saw God.
Well, I think
I feel like the only reason that people don't want it is because they believe it'll be off screen. If Oda were to show Kobe versus Boa, like I don't think anybody would have a problem with how he shows it. If Kobe were to win, because then we would understand how strong Boa is, and we'd also have a decent understanding of exactly where Kobe can be by the end of the series, which should be among the top tiers based on what his goal is from the very beginning of the series. So I mean, I really don't. I never understood why that was a problem, unless of course it's off screen, which I always have a problem with.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not, but at the same time, too, I can understand why Oda would do it because the story has to move on. But at the same time, we need to see these things go down. Like people want to say it's not a battle shonen, it's a battle shonen. There are fights that go down. There's an adventure, but there are fights that take place in every arc. If you want to showcase exactly where everybody is in the spectrum of the story, and you have moments to showcase that, you have to do it when the time is present. And there's no better time right now than now.
There's a fight.
I think, Stebo, I think the problem is that people want Boa's strength to be established first. Because if Kobe beats Boa, you're just leaving it open to say, well, Boa was never that strong to begin with. Of course, Kobe would beat her.
But so you can do that in the fight, though.
But that's the thing.
And I know the likelihood of Oda giving it to us is very low.
Stebo, you know Oda's not going to show us. You know Oda's not going to show Kobe versus Boa. You know it. And no matter how much you want it, you know he's not going to show that fight. It's getting off screen.
Closer and closer. Like the old excuse of where he's saving things, like he wouldn't have no point for saving that if that's the end of Boa.
Wait, so just a quick question. So in terms of off screening, like would y'all take, let's just say if it's half a chapter of just straight up throwing hands, but you don't get to see the beginning of the fight, you're like in the middle of it. Would y'all be all right with that?
It just depends.
No, go ahead.
It depends on what we get from that. Because I feel like what Jay's saying, where we wouldn't exactly understand where Boa stands. Like if Oda finds a way to put in like a text box or some bit of narration explaining exactly what Boa's capable of outside of this fight, like where does she stand amongst everyone else? Like without it feeling kind of awkward, right? Because I guess that'll be difficult. Because why are we learning this so randomly right now? But like if we get that within that half a chapter, then I would say that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, because you have to remember too, the anime is gonna extend these things too, like give us the action that we want to see and stuff. It's a matter of like we need to see if Boa is as strong as people say she is, or what Oda's depicted with the warlords. Because again, depending on your belief on the warlords, they either are a fraudulent group or they're vastly underrated because the fact that like it's hard to scale from a Mihawk to a Buggy. Because if you had a real balance where you can believe in what's going on, then it's like, okay, they're a top organization. But then when you look like that, it's tough. But I think that like for me, I'd have no issue if it was a half chapter or even like a chapter itself, as long as I could see a beginning, middle, to an end. If there is an actual end result where we see if Boa actually wins or Kobe wins, like something that's gonna move things for Kobe or just really showcase Boa is the truth.
Okay, I got you.
Because honestly, man, if I see Kobe like holding on to Boa like a trophy and stuff after, man, I'm going back to the Slender Pack. Like is not enough, bro.
Like Laz, the picture that was like fluctuating around Twitter. You talking about that? Like he's got her on her over the shoulder.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the one that Braga used for one of his thumbnails. Like that.
Please no.
Oh my god. If I see a chapter ends while I'm going into a break and it's Boba being carried like a trophy, oh god. Oh my god. And,
I don't know how I feel about that.
And during this specific month.
It's just because
yo. Do you know how bad?
The reason why I doubt it so much is because I haven't seen any in-canon W's from this character who's had the largest growth in the series besides him kicking a torpedo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's just weird. It's just like he hasn't really had an opponent that we've been able to see. Just hearsay, Rocky Port, which I'm gonna assume him and Law came to a mutual agreement, which is why they probably didn't go at it.
Yeah.
And I don't know where are these combat feats for him to just be like, all right, let me go whoop her ass real quick. I don't know. It's weird to me.
That's the other thing too. Let's say, for example, Boa ends up fighting Kobe, and then like just when we get to the end of the fight, there's like some kind of like agreement where it's like, because we know Kobe has a connection with Luffy, Ball connection with Luffy and stuff. They use that to stop for a moment, and they come to some kind of agreement where it's like, okay, I'll leave it as it is. I'll go do someone else, and then we just go from there. Because I don't envision Boa getting captured. I really don't. Especially with that army that she had.
Why would I want to put her through that again?
Because listen, bro, the Kucha Pirates are disrespected way too much, bro. All of them at least know some form of hockey.
Yeah.
So they can hold their own against these other ones that probably don't. Because remember, I think it's up to what, the Rear Admirals, I think it is when they start actually showing forms of hockey. So you compare their infantry to go against just the Kucha Pirates who are born to be doing this stuff with arrows, imbued with hockey. Like, come on, bro. There's no overweight. Unless you're saying an admiral from behind, like watching over.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been told I've been disrespecting Kobe because I said he's going to go high diff with Sandersonia Marigold. But
that's kind of wild.
I'm here for that. I'm here for the agenda. I'm here for that. That makes more sense. I would say high diff, but if he mid diffs him, I'll be okay. I want Kobe to mid diff them, but not high. I would be more satisfied if it's Fuji and Kobe versus Boa, and then
yes.
Whoa!
No, I'm in agreement with that.
That's overkill.
How is it overkill though?
It's not below, bro.
That's not overkill.
To me, Fuji Tora versus Boa, honestly, Fuji should be able to win that fight.
He should be able to win, but it would be
without Kobe.
It would be high difficulty, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be a high diff. You add Kobe in the.
Are y'all serious?
Yes.
That's serious. Yeah.
Why do you underestimate Boa? So I don't understand. We just confirmed she has.
I think you're underestimating Fujitora.
Yeah, because it's like Fuji could be able to handle that. I think. Like, I don't think he needs Kobe at all.
So,
gentlemen.
Is Fujitora mid diffing a first commander?
With that fruit, I think they're going, bro. With that fruit, I think they're going high. They might see the sun, bro. With that fruit.
I'm done. Stream's over. We can't do this no more, bro. I'm good, bro.
No, I think you're spitting blasphemy, sir.
Nope.
You think no, because you think that Fuji is extreme diff or high diff or whatever.
I said high
with
diff.
Boa Hancock, and I think that's egregious.
I said high diff. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, I don't know, bro. Like, I know we haven't seen enough from both parties, and trust me, I put a lot of respect on the admirals, but I think Hancock has the potential, like, right under. Like, I think Mihawk's in his own tier in the Shichibukai in terms of like where he is in the whole thing, but I think Hancock is like right under in terms of the potential is there for her to be up there as, like, man, whenever we actually see her going off, it's gonna leave us floored, like maybe even the level of this last Marco chapter. So like, if it were to go down to the case of her going up against Fujitora, I think, wall to wall they're going in, it probably would be in a high difficulty fight for sure.
I think a lot of people just think Boa Hancock is just a devil fruit. And it's really disappointing. And this is why Stampede was a blessing, because it really shows you the possibilities of what she really could do. Because we just saw what Marco did. And all we saw with Marco is his devil fruit and healing abilities. Then we saw Marco kicking the life out of King and Queen. Did we ever see any sort of capability that Marco could fight consistently at that level besides that one kick from Kizaru, and that's it? Because if you don't remember, he put smoke. She put Smoker on the shirt immediately in Marineford. Immediately, the moment Smoker appeared, she's like, "Nah."
Everybody put on the shirt.
Okay, but again, you have to understand, she didn't even take a breath. She just put him on the ground immediately. She's like, "All right, Smoker, get the hell out of here." And
can't think anything of someone who got put on a shirt 3 times in the same arc.
Okay, so we have Law. All right. Virgo, a lot of people can explain Virgo, and oh my God, Doflamingo.
Oh, Virgo and Doflamingo.
Okay, Virgo, we know what he was doing. We know what he was trying to do against Virgo. He's trying to get the heart. Dofi was just unfair. He didn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have this debate right now.
Sanji would have beat Virgo. All right, bet. So
I wasn't even gonna go there.
All right, I'm just saying Sanji would have beat him. High diff.
He's not lying though. He's not lying.
Whatever, nigga. Recon.
with a broken leg.
Yeah, I agree, bro. That T-bone steak was gonna get cooked, son. I'm
That's
telling you
what I'm
right
saying,
now.
Recon. No.
How you getting excited, bro? Boy's got a whole spoon. He's got a spoon stuck to his face, and you want me to take him seriously, bro?
He's gonna beat him with the burger on his face. Bro.
His leg bone connected to his femur bone got cracked.
Yo, Virgo's getting low dived by an Alakazam. All right, so anywho,
Hey, come on.
Hey, thank you guys for coming through.
but yeah, we need to wrap this up. It's almost 1 a.m. It's like 12:20. We gotta wrap this up.
No, we're good.
I agree.
Your boy gotta sleep.
Hey,
Nah, we good.
Bro, we're talking about One Piece.
dude, we're getting into the 1 a.m. with Stebo hours, bro.
Yeah, bro. We're about to be radio shows.
Oh my!
Trying to take my guy's bag.
The problem.
Someone said Jay's credit list. Fujitora is blind. Already count as Boa.
But here's the thing, bro. Crollo thinks that Boa Hancock is only her devil fruit, and this is what I keep telling people. Boa Hancock is clearly not only her devil fruit. It's just a hard counter for thirsty niggas. Yeah, but we saw with Babonga that if you have enough fortitude to be like, all right, well, let me just stab myself and chill. What is she going to do then? Show the rest of her abilities, like having Conqueror's Haki. How many people in the verse have Conqueror's Haki? There's first commanders that don't have Conqueror's Haki. So why do we just think Boa Hancock's just...
Don Chinzao has Conqueror's Haki. Leave me alone.
Don Chinzao's also 2,000 years old. And he fought Luffy.
and so is this argument. No. She's good, but she's not that good.
All right, bro.
Nah, I think you are underappreciated a little bit.
You're underappreciating her by using
like,
Don Chinzao.
Like Virgo.
I love Boa Hancock, but the
listen, bro.
The
He has
wanking
three
tonight is top tier.
Tell me the other people who have that. All three forms of hockey.
Who else?
Whitebeard, Luffy,
Goku,
Shanks.
Like, yeah, bro. Like, there's a very handful of people you can just grab out of the cookie jar, and then she's one of them.
Yeah,
confirmed in the SBS by Oda himself.
Yeah.
Multifaceted.
I agree.
Yeah, like she's high. She's one of the best warlords we know. Right? It's just a matter now. We got to see it. But
even
even
Sengoku. Do you know how relieved Sengoku was when he heard Boa was pulling up? He said, "Oh, thank God, Boa's here." Oh,
yeah.
Yo,
portrayal.
That's facts.
So all I want to say is,
God,
that's
bro.
a special. Hey, that's a special box of cookies, bro.
So Boa is competing with Admirals.
Also, Sabo was not taking Fujitora seriously either. They even mentioned it. None of them were. They weren't taking each other seriously.
Yeah, Sabo also. Hold on. Sabo also mentioned that Fujitora wasn't taking him seriously.
They weren't. That fight doesn't mean anything for the both of them. They were dicking around, and then Sabo.
I mean, I agree. So then why'd you bring it up?
It's the chat. I'm talking to the chat, not you, man.
Yeah.
No, you're talking to me.
It depends where you. It depends where you rank. It depends where you rank Burgess too with that whole thing too. Because if you think he's anywhere near second or third commander and stuff, like that's just an easy
wash. And then can he destroy the meters? Do you see what Boa Hancock did to Bullet?
Yeah, bro. It's like
if you bring up Bullet one more time, I'm gonna punch myself.
I'm just telling you, bro. I'm just telling
you. Any and all material that's provided.
So I got you, Virgo. Do you think Mihawk can cut up a meteor?
Yeah, yes.
Why do you think he can cut up a meteor? Why? Have we seen him do it?
Because if Doflamingo can, he can.
So if Doflamingo and Boa Hancock in the same
level, why you think I was gonna refer to Stampede? Wait, you're wrong.
Wait, here's the question. Here's the question, right? If Doflamingo can cut up a meteor, why can't Boa? Why?
He ain't got.
Do you know who has Conqueror's Haki? Do you know who's Conqueror's Haki? Doflamingo. Do you know who broke a continent with their head and broke the entire stage with their head? Don Chinchao, the nigga you just slandered. You know who's breaking that meteor? Don Chinchao with his fucking pinhead. If he's breaking an ice continent, he can't break a fucking meteor? Do you see where we at? Do you see it? There's a line, right? There's a line with niggas who have Conqueror's Haki. There's a line. Boa is across that line, and she has more hockey than that. And she's also not 2,000 years old like Don Chinchao. So again, if you are not willing to put Boa Hancock at least high second commander level, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
I agree. Second at least, yeah.
That's the bare minimum is high
All the stuff
second
that he
commander
has,
level.
yeah,
Bare
that's
minimum.
Yeah.
That's
the
all I'm
bare
saying.
minimum.
That's literally the bare minimum.
So the high second commander is taking Fujitora to high/extreme.
I actually think Boa Hancock is more than high second commander, but I'm just saying that. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. She's kicking that meteor for sure.
Kicking the shit out of that meteor.
I hate.
Yeah, she's sending that movie all the way back to where it came from, dog.
Yeah, she's sending
you
it right
lucky.
back to Marvin the Martian, bro.
You know what? Next episode, I'm getting Taekwon in here. We gonna deal with you, nigga. I got you, bro.
What, Nani?
Taekwon and Wing. I want them both in here. Next episode, I want them both.
Whoa,
All this-
Virgo, I'm keeping you in my prayers and thoughts, bro. Like, I really do that for you. I don't say it out in the open as much, but like, I really, genuinely, man, I pray for you.
Fun times incoming, man.
Yeah.
Fun times.
It sounds like a blast. Oh my goodness. All right, Jay, do you think it's time we wrap it up, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All righty. I think we'll wrap it up real quick. Thank you guys for coming through. This has been a wonderful stream. I had a ton of fucking fun. Honestly, if it wasn't getting too late, I probably wouldn't have ended it. But we're around the 2 hour and a half mark, unfortunately. Oh, actually, fortunately. But this is episode 15. And with the boys KingRecon, Commodore, Last, and Stebo Gameboy, they've been a delight to have. Their links to the channel will be in the description. Please subscribe to them. They are wonderful. Do you guys have any closing remarks?
Yo, thanks for having me, man. Yo, I dude, whenever you said it was 12:30, at least for me, it's 12:30. I couldn't believe it. Like, it's crazy that almost 3 hours
just
passed.
flew by, it just felt like we were like an hour in.
Yeah.
honestly,
Facts.
so. Yeah, man. But no,
It was a natural flow. I loved it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate though the invite, man, because like it's always great to chop it up to you guys and just talk about the pinnacle of our literature. So whenever we get those
Yes,
discussions in, man, it just be hidden.
100%, man.
So
Absolutely. It was great. Anything, Stebo?
I just want to say we need to play Among Us.
you can wrap it up, bro. You can wrap
It's
it up.
not
gonna
Bro.
happen.
You can wrap it up.
I don't know.
You can wrap it up.
I don't know what your obsession is,
Toji and 4.
but whatever.
It's a fun game, man.
Yep.
I like playing with my friends.
You don't need more games.
Toji and 4. That's all I'm saying.
Toji and
Toji in one. You don't need
Toji
more
and
games.
honestly in 1. Honestly,
Yeah.
listen.
Toji with the infinity symbol, man. Come
Yo,
on.
Braun would want to play Toji, bro.
Before we
Definitely
end
play with
it,
him, man.
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Before
Toji
we
is
end it,
LeBron. What do you mean?
I want
Multifaceted.
to be the.
He can't shoot.
I
He
wanna
can't shoot free
I wanna
throws and
be
use
the
curse
comment-
energy, but he's still the goat.
I want
Still the
to
goat.
read a comment
Still,
from Toddy
Blake
before we
Griffin
go.
with better hops, bro. Blake
Toddy says, guys, it's late. Jay's been sleep talking his dreams for 20 minutes. Bedtime. Great stream, fellas.
If you think
Oh.
I imagine the day when Rob Lucci and Boa Hancock get feats, I am coming for every single. I remember all the names. If I see you in my
Yep.
chat, you're finished. I promise you. It's over. I promise you.
Yeah,
I will
write it
finish
in the
you.
book. Write it in the book.
And this stream saves
What
chats
name
too.
is it?
I swear I'll save everything. I will finish. You.
Timestamp everything.
Yo, stream highlights, baby. Let's go.
All right. You guys have a wonderful night. Today's been a phenomenal stream. I'm probably going to rewatch this tomorrow or some shit. I loved it. You guys have a wonderful day. I rewatch streams. I'm weird like that. Whatever.
I do.
You guys have a wonderful night and have a great day tomorrow.